Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this very special night for Fontbonne men's volleyball. Tonight is not just our annual alumni game, it's also our final one. As the university prepares to close its doors, we take this moment to honor the people who built and carried this program with pride. First, we'd like to recognize the incredible coaches who helped shape this team through the years. Brad Rose, Matt Brady, Mike Hastings, Ryan Graham, Jim Stiffer, and DJ Gordon. Each of you play a vital role in building a program we've all been proud to represent. Next, we are thrilled to honor 3 new members of the Fontbonne Athletics Hall of Fame. Kyler Van Rossum O'Connor, Ryan Lightman, and Zach Rossi. Congratulations to Kyler, Ryan, and Zach. You earned your place in living history. Lastly, we want to celebrate 3 seniors who did not get a proper senior night. Tonight, we give them the spotlight they deserve. First, Logan Irby. Aiden Illingworth. And Kyle Snow. Logan, Aiden, and Kyle, thank you for everything. Your legacy lives on in this gym, in your teammates, and in Griffin Volleyball. A huge thank you to our sponsor tonight, First Floor, for supporting us during our final season and providing the gear to remember this night. For all your fans, we have t-shirts available for $10 and hoodies for $25. Swing by the table by the entrance and see the girls to grab yours before they're gone. And finally, stick around. Open bar and food from the work starts at 8 p.m. Come hang out, share some stories, and celebrate everything Fontbonne men's volleyball has meant to all of us. It's an honor to share this moment with all of you. One last game, one last time. Let's do it the Griffin way. All gas, no brakes.
Good evening all and welcome to Fontbonne University. This is the men's volleyball alumni game scheduled for January. Got snowed out that day and is ready for action tonight. Of course, this is a bittersweet time. This will be the last men's volleyball match in this gym. And I hope to get some help up here. Otherwise, it's going to be stating the obvious. The score and kind of what happened. They're saying that they were going to go with purple and gold. I couldn't fit purple on the screen, so that's the FBU side, and then the gold side did fit. TJ Vorva, I think, is hopefully going to send some information up here. Maybe he's coming up himself as well. Good crowd on hand as well, which is awesome. Okay, awesome. I am joined by Coach Borva. He'll sit in with me here, at least for this set, right? At least for this set, right?
Yeah, just for this set,
Okay,
and then I'm playing.
Oh, sweet! I saw you warming up out there.
Trying to.
You still got it, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're one of the only people that's told me that. So.
Well, how exciting is this for everybody?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm a little shocked, but also not shocked at all of how many people showed out.
Oh, my gosh, there's so many.
This program means a lot to a lot of people, so excited to do it.
And, you know, what really sucked is that you didn't have a final year. You couldn't get the team enough to put the team out there. So did a lot of your men go somewhere else this year or what?
Yeah, a bunch of them went to Westminster, which has a new program. So we had about 3 or 4 guys head over there. Actually, 2 guys that signed to Fontbonne ended up going there as well.
Okay.
So that was kind of a good core of kids. And then we had one guy who went to pharmacy, Demetrius Allen.
Okay, yeah.
And then Tyrone ended up going to Greenville. So Jimmy and I, Coach Jimmy Sticka, we ended up going to Westman versus Greenville for the last game of the year.
That was tough, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. We knew everybody in the gym. It was fun to watch.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, a lot of those games for pharmacy and for Greenville were on Prepcast. So
Good.
Yeah. So your guys still got represented.
Is that up? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Who paid the ref here?
Yeah, right. Just play on most times. Ooh.
We got Jake Burke setting on the left side here. He is I think he just told me, class of 2011. So.
Oh, my gosh.
He lives in New York now. And, yeah.
Is that one of the oldest guys that's here tonight?
I think so. Braxton's got to be up there as well, 2013. Dan Kohler, let me see. Where is he at? Dan Kohler's somewhere out there, but he is the quote-unquote grandfather of the program. So he's the one who kind of got it started here, worked with administration and everything like that. We'll be sending him up later today to talk a little bit about that. So before my time.
Well, almost all the coaches are here tonight, too.
Absolutely. We got Matt Bright out there. We got Mike Haston, Ryan LeGrand, Jimmy Sticka, and of course, yeah.
You'll be out there later.
I will. So, yeah, no, it's a really good turnout, and happy to see all these guys getting out there one last time.
Of course, there was a run there for a while that this team did very well.
Yep.
Made it to the big dance as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So, 2019, we finished Elite 8. 2021 finished, top 12, top 10?
Right.
14th, yeah, something like that.
14th.
Yeah, it was a wild game against Madai. And I think it's on YouTube, and if you ever get a chance to watch it, we had to play in the bubble in Virginia. And it was a pretty interesting situation, to say the least. But it was 2 of the most high-powered offenses you've seen in a long time going at it. And it was bounce ball or block every other point. So it was one of the most entertaining games I've ever watched.
Well, I was very happy that we got to host a regional, or at least a district, a regional qualifier.
Yep.
And you guys took that one, so that was nice.
Yeah, we hosted a few years. It was fun to do. It's always hard to go on the road with some of those playoff games, but when you wake up in your own bed and have your process set, it gets a little easier for sure. And the bus ride, of course.
Yeah, but the pressure's tougher, too, because you're supposed to win that, because you're the first seed. So.
Absolutely.
So how did you come to the program? Why did you come here?
Yeah, so actually I was, funny enough, I was on a visit to Missouri Baptist, and Mike Haston and Ryan LeGrand were recruiting me. And they were like, hey, I ended up posting on Twitter or something like that I was at Missouri Baptist for a visit.
Okay.
And they saw it, and they were like, hey, we're right down the road. Give us a shot. And I couldn't even pronounce the name Fontbonne.
Oh, no, right.
Didn't know anything about it. And I was like, whatever. I'll kind of see what's up, and ended up going. Mike Haston, great recruiter, is at Maryville now, really building that program up. But he really sold me the vision of what he wanted to turn this program into. And what was done before that and what he promised were, very drastically different. I think one of the best records they had was like 7-22 or something like that. Before those big runs that we had later in the later years. But no, it was very interesting. Went around campus, met the Lendys who are out there tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Jake and Steve, and ended up really liking the school. Ended up getting a lot of playing time as a freshman, and a lot of people ask, hey, you go to a small school, less than 1,000 kids sometimes in different classes and stuff, and it's like, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Nice.
I absolutely loved it, and I think that story is pretty consistent with a lot of the guys out here tonight.
And you stuck around, and you came back to coach as well?
Yep, I was here since 2015. The only year I took off was 2020, which ended up being kind of a goofy year for everybody. I think
that's true.
They only played about 14 games, but no, it was. I've been here ever since, either as a assistant, head coach, or a player. So.
And now you're here as kind of a shop up or a cleanup crew, right?
They got me doing a little everything right now, but yeah, it's been kind of a weird process watching the school close. Our president Nancy Blattner, her big philosophy was to really try to close with class, and I think that's something that we ended up accomplishing.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, that's not the perfect way to do it or anything. Nobody wants to close, but if you were going to do it, I think we did it the best way we could. It was kind of slow. There was a lot of celebration, which was really nice. So nights like tonight that we're able to do. A lot of these other schools that are closing across the country right now, you find out on a Tuesday and it's closed on Friday, and you got to get everything out and you're done trying to look for a new home.
No, and we got to thank WashU for some of that.
Agreed.
That they let us have this last year and a legacy year, and
absolutely.
And that was great on their part, and we just want to give this building and all the other classrooms to them in good shape.
Absolutely.
Not sure what they're going to do with it all, but
it'll be interesting. Yeah, there's always rumors. I know they had drones flying around campus over spring break.
That's
which
scary.
It was a little weird. Yeah, but I don't know what they'll do with it. It's very interesting. It's a beautiful campus. Springtime in the fall. It's a small school, but it is an absolute gorgeous campus, and they'll definitely do something with it. Hopefully, it'll stay in the sports world, and at least this building. So.
Yeah, this is a great gym as well. A lot of history in this gym.
Absolutely. Yeah, they had everything from obviously the college games, but they've hosted high school regionals in this gym.
Okay.
They've hosted, there was pro-am basketball leagues where Jason Tatum has been in this gym. He used to work out here, actually. I have a picture with him.
Oh, nice.
On a Wednesday morning, I was sitting up in DSAC right over here eating my breakfast, and I looked down and I go, oh, my gosh, that's Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And he's shooting around, and I ended up texting a few of my friends. They texted a few others, and, right after his workout, there's about 100 kids waiting for autographs afterwards.
Sure.
So, but we've had some interesting teams come in. Every time they have Arch Madness, those teams will come in, and then when they host the national, March Madness, those teams will come in too. So we've actually had Michigan State practice in here.
Yeah.
So Izzo has been in this gym.
That's cool.
We've had the Pitt team in here. SIUE's been in here. SLU's been in here. So yeah, a lot of little history that you wouldn't even really know.
Besides all the Fontbonne
of course,
history.
and then you got right, and then you got the Fontbonne games, which every sport has a million stories there. So.
Sure. So as a player, what were some of your favorite memories on this floor?
Oof, on this floor, there was a few. So our rival was Greenville when I first came here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
So back in the day. And that was solely because the rest of the school is pretty much rivals with them.
Sure.
So that kind of that's how that started. I think we got down 2-0 again in one of our first games here as a freshman here, and we ended up coming back, winning the last 3.
Oh, my.
And that was a pretty wild one. The other one that kind of comes to mind quickly is nationally ranked team North Central was number 8 in the country. Came down here on about a Wednesday or Thursday night, and we went to every single classroom here and told every single person, hey, if there's one game to go to, this is the one to go to. I'm not kidding, we had this entire section packed to the brim, and it was pretty cool to watch. We ended up sweeping them off the court, and number 8 team in the country at that point.
Yeah.
Rumor has it their coach said he'll never come down to St. Louis to play us again. But I think that's a compliment,
Oh, sure.
D3 volleyball doesn't always get the biggest fans in the world, but that game,
it's exciting.
That game was a rowdy one.
I've seen it since Fontbonne started it, and now we have Greenville and we have Pharmacy, and they're NAIA, but
right.
Greenville, they're struggling. They're trying to get it back to where they had it, but they'll get it.
Absolutely. Ooh, what a serve. Says Steve Lendy. Yep. Yeah, so Steve's, we've been hosting Alumni Open gyms every Tuesday night here just to,
cool.
just to get in a little back in shape.
Well,
so
he's in good shape.
you can tell.
Holy cow.
Guess who showed up to most of them, so. Oh, never mind.
Well, that's still. I was watching him warm up. I go, oh, my gosh, he hasn't lost anything.
Not a step. It's funny, yeah, a lot of the guys, that are from those really, really solid years, it's funny that, like, not a lot of opportunities as an adult to touch the volleyball nearly as much as we used to. So
sure. Well,
we get creative with sand and adult leagues and all that kind of stuff. So,
still alive. That's the best rally so far. Oh, double block over there.
Yep, Jacob Hartman. Those are two middles there. Jacob Hartman's getting married in May, so.
Somebody's a dad. I saw somebody brought a young girl in
there's
here.
A few dads now.
Yeah.
We got, obviously, Braxton, and I heard Zach Pelker, who played back in my years. He's a dad now, too. And then Jake Lendy and Steve Lendy are both dads as well. So.
Okay. And you had an assistant just get married not too long ago.
Yes, Kyler. Kyler just got married, and there she is right in front of us. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a fun one. We had that was kind of a little bit of a volleyball reunion as well for that wedding. So.
And she was an athlete too, right?
She played volleyball here.
That's right. That's a tight set. 2-point set.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
How long are we going to play tonight?
We're kind of debating. We have a big roster here, so if we're all gassed by 3 sets, we'll keep it at that. But if people want to keep playing, we'll probably play 5. Not sure though. If it's going too long, obviously we'll shut it down.
So you got Haston against who's coaching? Oh well, now they're switching.
Looks like we're running a 6-2 on both sides. We just have a lot of players tonight.
No, I'm talking coach wise.
Yeah, we got Haston on that side. Ryan's over there too.
He just moved over.
I don't know who's coaching.
I started with both of those guys at Fox High School.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I was the PA guy and
nice.
And then they brought me over to Fontbonne. When they moved over here, they go, "Oh, we want you to just keep doing that what you did over there, over here."
Right. Yeah, he hit me up this year. Maryville had a conflict in the gym this year, so they ended up practicing here for one game or one practice.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was just looking around. It was all guys wearing Maryville gear, but in this gym, and he's like, "I'm just having a weird moment."
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
sure he was.
It's like a little bit of deja vu.
Now they're both at Maryville, right?
Yep. They're both at Maryville, yep. I think Ryan's helping the women's side as well.
Oh. Yeah.
They had a pretty solid season.
For a while, they were trying to do both, right? I mean, somebody was.
Yeah, Ryan does both. Yeah, he's the assistant for both, and then Haston's just the head for men's.
I mean, here even. I think he was trying to do both and then give up the women.
It is hard. Jimmy Sticka did both for a year.
That's right.
And from an outsider's perspective, you don't really understand all the stuff that goes into it. But from my first year coaching, I give him as much props as I can. I don't know how he managed both because either you're recruiting itself for one team is more work than you can ever imagine. Trying to do it and balance both teams and trying to give your attention to both teams equally is never easy. And he did it better than I know most people would. So. He's one of those guys. Jimmy's one of my really good friends, one of my good mentors, and he's
got
really
Coach of the Year last night.
Absolutely at the Golden Griffin Award.
That's right.
But yeah, Jimmy's taught me quite a bit in the coaching world. A lot of stuff that I've taken from X's and O's, but also just from his experience, dealing with adversity on both the women's and men's side. He's been a resource for me. That's been pretty exponential there.
So let's talk about First Form a little bit.
Absolutely.
You're really involved with that.
Yeah, so they were great. They were, I think they were one of the first we were one of the first D3 men's volleyball teams with a true sponsorship like that.
Yeah.
So that was a big accomplishment that we wanted to do this year. It kind of came together. It was slow, but then came together very fast, and they were absolutely awesome. Their whole philosophy is to really support the local St. Louis, sports look basically, and they really helped us out. We wanted to make the sponsorship a little bigger throughout the school, and that was kind of in the works, but weren't able to accomplish that. But the things we did with the volleyball team, we had a camp that was actually really awesome. We gave a lot of free gear out, First Form gear. They gave a bunch of protein bars, energy drinks, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, they've helped us out so much this year. We we had a really good workout program. We have a guy here named Sam who's just great with the kids, and you pair that up with the first form stuff, with the recovery, with the protein and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, obviously we're a D3 school, but the whole philosophy behind it was to, you know, act like one of the bigger Division I schools and kind of treat the program like it. We wanted to winning ways, and we wanted to kind of have that big time school feel. And we're starting to get there, and I think that's kind of the frustrating part of all of it.
Yeah.
So.
Just at the wrong time, maybe.
Right. But yeah.
But still, it was great while it lasted. And,
absolutely.
And you were a big part of getting that done, I know.
I appreciate that. And then McGurk's was the other big sponsor. They're actually helping us with our food tonight. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So really good people there.
Woo! It's a nice rocket.
Yeah, we got Joe, who's going back to serve here on the right. He ended up, he's at Wash U now on the club team.
Oh, okay.
They finished 5th at Nationals, which is pretty solid. Ryan Lively's also on that team, but he's hurt right now, so that probably didn't help them out as much as they needed. But Joe played well. I think he got all tournament team, if not more. So he's kind of moving from middle, which he played with us, to right side, which. I don't know if he'll do it tonight, but he can hit really hard both lefty and righty, which is crazy. Right on cue. On cue. Yeah, he can hit lefty and righty, which is kind of unheard of, and put some pace. Put some pace behind it. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a new little trick.
You don't expect that.
Well, you block him one way, and then he hits it pretty solid the other way. It's very difficult.
You don't know what to do then.
Exactly. Kid of many talents. He's also a soccer player too.
Okay. And you recruited him, or?
Yeah, Jimmy was a big part of that. I coached club against him, though, so I knew.
That's how you know him.
Very familiar with him.
So St. Louis is a pretty good volleyball town, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. We got a few good club teams. Blue Steel on the Illinois side. That's where I'm actually coaching right now. Okay. And then, of course, the big one is High Performance on the St. Louis side. And those two programs are absolutely battling right now. And you actually got a little bit of both out there tonight. A lot of club influence from both those clubs. Okay. Mova is in the other one as well. I believe Joe played for them.
Service error there.
Yeah, there's a new club starting every year now. It seems like it's really, the sport is really starting to grow. And then, Missouri just started. Men's volleyball is a sanctioned sport, which it
for
used
high
to,
school.
Right. So it used to be just club. So that'll really grow the game in those areas of Missouri that men's volleyball isn't super big in.
Yeah, they'll take it to the Kansas City side a little bit more.
Absolutely. Columbia, Springfield are already starting clubs as well, so it's exciting.
It's always been strong here in St. Louis.
Absolutely.
Vianney and Lafayette, St. Mary's, and those type of schools.
Yeah, and then you got like MOBAP and stuff on the college side that have been doing big things since the 80s and 90s, it seems like. So.
Well, and they were the host of the tournament for many, many years, and we actually covered the finals and semis, and then the state took over, and I don't know where it is anymore.
Yeah, I think it varies. I think Maryville hosted it last year.
Okay, but I think it's moving, though, to...
Could be moving around.
SEMO or Branson or something.
Yeah.
We're at 23-20 here.
Colin Scharnhorst.
So who's going to be the next victim up here? Who are you going to send up here?
We'll see. I think Dan Kohler's got to be up here. He's the grandfather of the program.
Okay,
he can kind of tell you. I think you should ask him some questions about how everything kind of went down.
Definitely.
I'd love to hear some of his thoughts there. And then we'll try to get Zach and Kyler up here, of course, as well. So.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you got some Hall of Famers that are going in. How about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we got Zach Rossian, who he's going to get mad if I mess up his stats, so I won't even go into him. But he's leading. I think he leads the NCAA in digs all time.
Yeah.
Kyler's up there, top 5, if not the highest in assists all time. And then Ryan Lively, who's been our only All-American ever, has gotten inducted as well. And he ended up coming from a Division I school and transferred in, and really fell in love with the guys, really fell in love with the school. So it's kind of cool to see his success at this level as well.
Well, it's nice because that'll be the last Hall of Fame, I assume.
It is,
yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why you do it in the future. So.
Yeah, so they are permanently etched in, which is kind of cool.
And that ceremony's soon, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's in May, middle of May. Okay. So.
Coming
Braden.
Coming back.
Man, oh man. Yeah, Braden was one of those that definitely nominated. You can't get everybody in the Hall of Fame, but if there's a first out, you know, he is definitely that one that probably deserves it.
Yeah, I loved his energy.
He brought it when he played here.
Oh, there's your kid again. Oh, they're going to take it. They're going to take that first set.
Well, thank you for everything.
TJ,
I appreciate it.
Brother.
Thank you guys. You know, as a company, I appreciate you guys helping the program for all these years. A lot of these guys won't maybe say it, but we all think it. You guys were the voice of the Griffins, and it's always cool to look back. I'll look back at the 2018, 2019 games and just have a big old smile on my face, and that's because of you guys having great announcers and just bringing a really good product to us.
Thanks,
so
Coach.
I appreciate
you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. TJ Vorva with us at first set. So we're going to have some new help up here as we go on. So I have this graphic for you too to show you previous sets. How you doing? Tim Miller.
Tim, Dan, nice to meet you, man.
All right, so Dan, what? Last name?
Kohler.
Kohler. And you were the grandfather of the program, I understand?
Of the crew here tonight, yeah, the OG that helped get the program started. Back when I was here, I graduated in 2008. We got the team together as a club team in 2006 with myself, one other of my classmates who had played volleyball previously in high school, and then we had 5 soccer players because we just needed the bodies to get to fill the court out there. We had 2 matches here in the DSAC that first season against Mobap's JV.
Okay.
And everybody on campus was very excited for the first match. As you can imagine, 2 people having previous experience playing volleyball with a few other athletes.
They probably thought, what is this circus going to
be? Yeah. You know, it was fun while it lasted, but it took us until the end of the season in 2007, when we got our first win in franchise history.
Okay.
And that was the only win in my tenure in my 3 seasons here.
Oh my God.
It was a fun slog, and it's amazing to come back and just see
the success,
the caliber, and just what the coaches over the years have been able to do. You know, St. Louis is such a great hotbed for boys and girls volleyball, and seeing the talent they've been able to pull in, especially at a D3 level as well, because there are some guys out there that have the talent to do and could have played at a higher level than that. And
we're going to have an uprough this time.
You know, there were some questionable decisions, and anytime you get in an alumni game like this,
it's a gentleman's game.
Yeah, well, but then you get guys that grew up playing together on opposite sides of the court. Nobody wants to concede. Nobody's willing to give an inch in those close calls. So it makes sense. You know, I was hoping Ruby was going to be here because she was the all-star official when I was here.
Okay,
I was chatting with Kyler as we subbed off, asking, if he remembers her, and he did. I think my favorite thing about Ruby, she felt bad for us because she knew we were just so outclassed.
Right.
That anytime we'd switch courts as the captain, she would pull me aside and sneak me a hard candy in the palm of my hand.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's just a very, very sweet moment. She was
it's like grandma.
100%, 100%. So she was easily my favorite official, and too, I think you could have accused her of a little bit of home cooking every now and then for at least a few calls that match as well. So she was definitely my favorite and a very well-known official in the St. Louis volleyball community as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of famous officials here in St. Louis.
There are.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw Marty still officiating as well. I caught him.
Yeah,
I saw him when I was watching some of the matches this season on ESPN Plus, and he's been doing that for God knows how long by now.
I know.
The amount of volleyball that man has seen is just unfathomable.
No doubt. All right, so I don't know. Did they? I have them as Fontbonne and gold. I don't even know how to do it. I'm just going left and right.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Not that this goes in any record book anywhere anyway. So.
You know, I was told this accounts towards our official stats, career stats for the program.
Oh,
so
that would be great.
That's why I've been really pushing to serve
well, there's
tonight.
a couple guys want to add to their national record.
They should. You know, they're very well deserved. That could be wrong. I don't know.
Yes.
If this is officially sanctioned or not.
Yes. Well, it's officially on Prepcast, so that's what counts. Yeah, we've been blessed to have all home sports this year.
Sure.
On Prepcast, and I've been with the softball program for 14 years now.
Wow. Okay.
Calling those games.
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, I'm going to have my bittersweet moment here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it is a little surreal coming back to campus and thinking this is the last time I'm going to come back to Fontbonne's campus. Obviously, it's still going to be here, but as TJ was telling us before during warmups, this is the last official university-sanctioned event in this gymnasium. Yeah, I'm good, babe. Whatever.
So you got the rotation?
We got the rotation.
Okay,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But yeah, and just kind of seeing the campus, you know, a lot of memories come flooding back to you, especially coming in this gym, the amount of hours we spent.
So did you graduate from here?
I did. In 2008, the lone senior on the team in that 2008 season. In my first few years here at Fontbonne, too, I was a student assistant for the women's program as well.
Okay. And who was the coach then?
That was Kim Kudus for the first season, and then Brad Bruns after that for the next two. And he was the first coach for the men's program as well that first season before Matt.
We really haven't had a lot of coaches, have we?
No, I mean, there's been a pretty good tenure, you know, and true to Fontbonne fashion, too. A lot of folks that have really deep ties to the university, either as students or, you know, as working in various capacities over the years. And, you know, that's one of the things I think that really made this university special, that everybody out there, you know, really found this place to be a home.
It was cool because players then became coaches. Jim Sticka and TJ, and you know, and you got to thank LeGrand and Haston for things like that. You know, and I was telling TJ, I worked with Ryan and Mike at Fox High School when they were coaching there.
Yeah.
I was the PA announcer, and then when they got the gig here, they go, "Well, you're coming with us, man. We're going to do this over there now." I go, I'm already associated with Fontbonne. I'm good. So
well, I mean, in the way that the volleyball community is such a small world as well.
True.
My freshman year, when we didn't have a men's program here, I played USAV men's, and Haston was actually on my team.
Wow.
And so it was kind of a surreal moment that he was teaching at the same grade school as Bright was.
Okay.
And he knew that Haston had, you know, some experience playing high school and played club in college and was interested in getting into coaching.
Oh, they blocked TJ.
He had it coming. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real here.
That's awesome.
Everything he did for the program here, that's the least we can do for him.
That's so good.
But no, it was just kind of, like I said, the St. Louis is the biggest small town in the world. That, you know, my teammate was now the assistant coach of the program and then later went on to take over as the head coach and now is having some success with Maryville, which is great to see, both he and Ryan.
They're killing it over there.
Yeah, catching up with them and kind of their success. They had an unceremonious end, it sounded like, but a good regular season, and they got a good recruiting class coming in. So, again, it's great to see that. And that's one of the things that I really love about this volleyball community,
and
too.
it's great that they showed up here tonight, too.
You know, I was hoping they were. You know, we got as many of the guys back as we could. Obviously, with the makeup date, because we couldn't get in here in January. I think we got more bodies here, though, which was great, because I don't know if we would have had this kind of turnout in January.
Somebody's from New York tonight.
Yeah, Berkey came in. So he graduated a few years after I did, but we got to play together my senior season. And he just had a little baby, a little 4-month-old. And so he convinced his significant other to say, you know, I'm going to go for the least amount of time. So he flew in this afternoon. He's flying out first thing this morning.
Oh my!
So just, you know, it's cool to see him. I didn't know that he was going to be here. He kind of made it a surprise. So even his mother as well, who showed up, is hanging out in the gym watching the match tonight. He told her earlier this week that he was planning to come in, but that's classic Jake, just the kind of guy he is.
In case you just joined us, I'm sitting in with Dan Kohler, one of the grandfather of the program on the very first team that went from club then to legit team, I guess.
Yeah,
sanctioned team.
We were the first NCAA sanctioned men's volleyball program in the state of Missouri. We held that for a year or two until Maryville got their program up and running. So our first conference was titled the Big Three. It's now defunct, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
Comprised of Fontbonne, the Milwaukee School of Engineering, and Carthage.
Carthage, you're still at it, though.
Yeah, and they are. And they were just about as good back then as they are now.
They kill it. That was touch, wasn't it?
Looked like it.
Come on.
Our up official, I think he's got a Bud Select in his hand, so maybe prohibiting his ability to make a discretionary call there. But we had some fun back in the day, though. I can remember some of the more memorable matches that we had. Speaking of Carthage, we were coming off of a doubleheader weekend where we played up in Milwaukee on Saturday. Big block there for the boys on the left side. And we were swinging back by on Sunday on our way home to play at Carthage. And Carthage was in the process of building a new gymnasium. And so their old gymnasium, mind you, this was, I think, February, March, not where it was very, very cold outside, like below freezing. And it was supposed to be the last weekend that gymnasium was still in operation, but they didn't tell the operations crew that.
Oh, no.
So we showed up, zero heat.
No heat.
It is the only volleyball match in my entire decades career I've played in where the officials let us wear sweatpants and long sleeves under our jerseys. Because it was probably about 40 degrees in that gymnasium.
But that's a cool memory, too.
And it was.
It really is.
And I'll never forget Carthage's coach forbidding any of his players to wear pants or long sleeves. So they were all out there in their regular gear. We were Berkey was literally playing in Coach Bright's parka all match. And I've never been happier to get swept out of a game so we could get on the bus. It was warmer on the bus when we got back in when it hadn't been running for an hour and a half. Than it was in that gymnasium.
That's like the Minnesota Vikings coach. His name was Bud Grant, and he never let any heaters on the sideline. And it was an outside stadium then.
Yeah.
And he was known for just being a tyrant like that, kind of like the Carthage coach. You're not wearing pants today.
No, it was wild. We had another fun one. We were playing a match in Kansas against Park. A ranked NAIA team at that point.
They're still at it.
I don't know how Bright got them on the schedule and convinced them to take a match with us.
Yeah, that is kind of something. How do you get anybody to play you?
I don't. Especially the program that we had too, that was not known for its prowess by that point.
I've never heard of that.
And again, they were ranked NAIA team, just insanely good squad.
They still are.
And in the third set. Bright told us that if we scored 10 points off of them, he would buy us pizza on the way back.
Okay.
And lo and behold, the match was like 21-22 to 9. And they served out to give us 10. And you would have thought we won the national championship. Everybody on the park bench and court was so confused about what the hell was going on. The officials had overheard, and they got a good chuckle out of it.
They go, where's our piece?
Yeah, exactly. It was definitely a memorable, motivating tactic because we were not playing strong that day.
See, that's the memories that you're going to have with a new squad like that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's why you're here tonight, Coach, to kind of let us know when, people didn't even know it existed back then.
No, not at all. I remember, I'm just going to keep going down memory lane here on you.
Sure, that's the point.
Our first road trip, I don't even remember the name of the university in Kansas. It wasn't Park. It was another D2 program, I believe. And we had so few players, the athletic department here at Fontbonne could not justify getting us a charter bus.
Oh, my.
So Coach Bright had to go to Enterprise and rented a Suburban with a third row, and we all packed in that Suburban to road trip it to Kansas. We had a doubleheader, a Friday night and a Saturday afternoon. Wow. And when I tell you this was like very C&D county, in the middle of cornfields, middle of nowhere. There was nothing else going on at this university on Friday night, and the program was pretty decent, and they packed that gymnasium.
Oh, no way.
They packed it. So that was a really cool experience for the Friday night game. And our libero, Mark Wilhite, God love him, he couldn't make it tonight. And I don't want to speak ill of him, but I'm sure it's not one of his more fond memories. He got heckled off the court that match. That was probably one of the more memorable matches that we had because we literally played both sides of the gymnasium, just chock full of college students. rowdy on a Friday night because there's nothing else going on. Needless to say, Saturday morning's match was a little bit not as well attended.
No, I'm sure not.
Because the student body was probably nursing off some hangovers. Yeah, a little bit of headaches, going to wake up for it. But yeah, that was definitely team bonding to the extreme when you pack,
cool.
7 college students.
You're going to get to know each other.
And a coach
you're
in a
going to smell each other. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And the coach drove, I guess.
Yeah, Bright was our driver. Because we didn't have anybody else that was with the Class B license
to
drive
that's
the
just
vehicle
a
and
suburban,
transport.
So you
yeah,
don't
exactly.
Even need it.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had our first spring break trip too. We went down to Florida, played in a tournament down there with also some NAIA teams and some D2, some D3 schools. That was a good time because I remember we were also didn't have the most budget, so we had to stay at a hotel about an hour away from the gymnasium that we were playing.
Oh my God.
Thankfully, we were able to raise enough money to get flights out there, but just staying in a very luxurious motel with a very scenic pool hot tub combo out on the patio that none of us were brave enough to indulge because it was just like, I think we're good.
Yes.
We got to see a little bit of beach, got to go out a little bit after the matches. Meet some of the locals there. That was a very fun evening for us all. But yeah, I wish I would have more tales to regale on successes and victories.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
We got some fun stories.
Right. But if it weren't for you guys, this program wouldn't be where it was now.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. And especially being, the first NCAA sanctioned program in Missouri,
that's pretty cool.
we had to go somewhere. So that was a good time. I'm trying to think.
So did you follow it after you had left?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Coming back to matches and watching them. Once you guys started streaming them on PrepCast, and coming back I haven't missed a single alumni game too. Since we've been having them, since we finally had enough alumni to field an alumni team.
True.
Took us a few years to get to that point.
Right.
The first alumni game where we had enough, I think, was probably 5 years after I graduated, because we had a few guys that came and transferred out or didn't graduate for one reason or another. So it took us a few years to be able to have a worthwhile pool of alumni to be able to come back and actually field an alumni
squad. You don't
squad.
think like that. It's like
yeah,
you got to have alumni to have an alumni team.
But no, it's been great, and obviously, like I said, I had built a great relationship with Bright over the years, and was friends with Haston when he took over the program, and got to know Ryan when Ryan came on board, and then meeting Jimmy and TJ through, the various alumni activities that we've had, going to the fundraisers, the trivia nights, getting teams in there, and helping these guys raise money for the various equipment and trips that they need to be taken. Those were always fun memories because we had a pretty successful run with the alumni table at the trivia nights.
Oh, good, good.
Not to say that the players sometimes gave us a heads up on what was coming so we could kind of study up, but there were some contentious evenings with some of the tables that maybe were like, wait a second, how you guys went in again?
You guys paid your dues.
We did. We came in, we had fun, we raised money. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Because any money that we raised from winning, we gave right back to the program, put it right back in to support these guys, kind of doing what they love.
So what do you do now?
So I work down in public relations at Nestle Purina. So I've been down there at our headquarters here in downtown St. Louis for going on 14 years. It'll be 14 years.
So you're still local. That's nice.
Still local, yeah. Born and raised. So this was a nice addition to the academic journey.
I'll ask the St. Louis question.
Yeah, St. Mary's.
Where did you go to high school?
St. Mary's High School in South City. So,
yep.
Another great local institution that
Sure.
fell on some hard times, and then they were able to make do with the alumni kind of stepping up and helping build the endowment. Great leadership out there with Mike England to kind of help steer that institution in the right direction, and they're kind of set up now.
That volleyball guy was there for a long
Johnny
time.
Shidacone. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we just we won the state championship in 2004. And we just got inducted into the St. Mary's Hall of Fame last January, and so did Johnny that same year.
Good.
So that was really cool to be able to experience that with him because, he'd had 3-4 state championships and at least a dozen Final Four appearances.
Who is St. Mary's?
Yeah. So he was a phenomenal coach, and drew a lot of us in to want to attend and play for him, and developed a lot of talent as well. When you get some of these guys that come in that are athletes, but maybe not necessarily volleyball players by trade or had a lot of experience playing club ball growing up,
right.
And that program's still going strong. So,
well, the former owner was Bob Ryan, and he went to St. Mary's as well.
Yeah.
And then he got the program started for Prepcast there. And then,
Okay.
And I bought it in 2013 from him, and he's still around. But
yeah, sure.
He got us into St. Mary's, and we were hardcore for them. We went through their football successes and all of that, and then they kind of started doing it on their own. Most high schools did that after COVID.
Sure.
But yeah, we've had a lot of St. Mary's ties. And there's been some players from St. Mary's since you over here too.
Yeah, there's been a couple for sure. There were a few that I know that came in that played for a year or two and then kind of went their separate ways. But like I said, it's a good local pipeline here in the St. Louis community. So it's a bummer that we're losing this. But those guys that quality players will be able to find homes for sure and get some scholarships if we keep playing.
Play on this one. It's a set point. Well, maybe not. Are we going to play to more than 25?
Nope.
No, we're not. Dan, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was good.
Anything else, man? Anything else?
No, I mean, this is great. I appreciate TJ for inviting me to come chat and tell some of the old tales. So it's going to be fun once we're done here to share some of those fun memories with the guys, because some of these guys I haven't seen in quite a long time. And as everybody's getting older and starting families and new careers and whatnot, it'll be nice to catch up with everybody. That's and to see some of the younger guys too and try and help them out, however we can as the alumni and offer whatever advice or networking opportunities that we can. That's the thing I'll probably miss the most, is being able to network with these guys, as they're trying to figure out graduation, what they're going to do next, what life looks like.
There's going to be a big hole. And it's going to take a lot to fill it.
For sure.
All right, Dan, thank you, buddy.
All right.
I appreciate it. Take care.
For sure.
Dan Kohler with us here in set 2, and not sure who he's going to get here in set 3. I think we're going to have multiple players up here. Maybe some of the future Hall of Famers are going to come in. So we've got 2 sets in the books. And technically, they went to the gold team twice, but that's just the team that's on the right side of the floor for me. So that doesn't really mean much. We're just trying to keep score and tell stories tonight. I think we do have one more set to come here. And I think we can try to play this movie if it works.
It's gonna go down. Fontbonne, for the first time since 2005, wins the SLIAC tournament.
That's for sure. And one today, lose one tomorrow. But it certainly looks like there's a shot and goal. Weaver was looking for a goal.
Jones, and that's a win for Fontbonne, and they go back to the regionals. It's been about
this one's lined back in the center, and that'll get down and get past the center fielder to Bird and go all the way to the wall. Cooper going around second. They're going to send him. Not going to be. The throw comes in. Not in time.
True, and Fontbonne will advance on to NCAA tournament. And another shutout for Mary Beers. And an excited Fontbonne Griffin team gathers and does the traditional bounce.
There's the celebration for the Griffins at the center of the field.
And their supporters rush on the field.
as they've punched their ticket to the NCAAs.
College events here on the network. Lee lifts a deep one, and it's gone into left field. Carter Lee, a leadoff home run. This one.
I guess he came in my fifth year. So we played together in 21 and 22.
We're back. We're with Kyler Van Rossum O'Connell and Tim Miller with you here for set 3. I think this is going to do it tonight.
I think we might play a couple more.
Okay.
I think we might play 2 more, to be honest with you.
Oh, it is what it is.
They were worried about getting everyone food at first, but now more people want to play. Some people have only got one set.
So many people showed up.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, my gosh.
Can't ask for much more.
So, yeah, as I was telling you, we're pretty much just telling stories here at this point.
Perfect.
And the game is what it is. You know?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And that's why everybody's here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, just to see former players, to see former teammates, to see players that they never saw before.
Yeah.
You know, we just had Dan Kohler, and he was one of the first ones to ever be on the Fontbonne team.
Yeah, no, Dan was definitely one of the pioneers. Him and Braxton led the way for this entire program. So they've done a great job, especially in alumni relations. They've done a great job keeping this whole thing together, and that's why we have so many people here. I mean, we still have cookouts together. We still go out and hang out. We got so many people still in the St. Louis area, and even the ones that aren't, they come into town and we hang out with them. But no, it's such a special place and such a special little family that we got here.
Well, and that's the Fontbonne way too, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it really is.
Absolutely.
So I've been involved with softball since 2012.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been announcing for them
We've been at a couple of your games. We've been sitting in the outfield for a couple of those.
I remember those.
Oh, yeah, we're not behind the plate people.
No. But, so, I mean, I still haven't had my moment yet, you know, and I just hope to heck that they make it to the quarterfinals, you know, this year.
They've had a great season so far, haven't they?
It's pretty good. You know, they need to be in the top 6.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough, too, when you have, I mean, they probably have, 12 girls?
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that was the same way for the volleyball team. Me and Jimmy and our assistant coach down there, Carlin Hanwald, sitting down there. We had 9 girls. We had 10, and then 1 girl quit mid-season, so we had 9. And we got all the way to the conference championship game.
And basketball did really well.
Basketball did great.
They had one of your volleyball players on there.
Actually two. We had Logan Irby and Aiden Illingworth.
And they had one of our softball players on there too with Foppy.
She did great. Yeah,
she did a good job.
Yeah, no, we've got a good little culture here. It was funny watching other people play sports they've never played before, though. That's been the fun part about this year.
Oh, and Dan was telling me how he had soccer players on his first volleyball team.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just to make a team.
Yeah. No, this program's come a very long way.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, you can see all the coaches down there. I mean, all the way from my first coach was Haston. Mike Haston. My first staff was head coach was Haston, assistant coach was Ryan LeGrand, and then GA was Jimmy Sticka.
Oh, that's
so
crazy.
I had every single one of those 3 for 2 years.
Isn't that
my
crazy?
6 years of playing. It was crazy. Very different style, small 3, but all of them are great head coaches.
And you got to play for quite a while. You had the COVID experience as well.
Yep.
And congrats on the marriage. I heard you just got married
to
a volleyball player.
Yeah, she's sitting right down there.
That's great.
Her family and my family, they're all in town. My sister's got her mom's weekend for her sorority down at Linwood this weekend. So they're all going to that, and then all the boys are hanging out this weekend. So it'll be a good time.
Well, this is a good way to start it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We're not really sure who's in the rotation here. And again, that's not the important part.
No, not at all.
You know some of these guys.
Oh, I know all these guys. I know all of them.
But no, Coach Sticka's out there.
Yeah, you got Jimmy playing there. You got Zach playing libero on the right side, number 34. You got Braxton sitting on the left with Lee as his outside. And you got Cam Graves on the outside. Logan Irby in the middle. Kyle Schnook in middle back.
That's a little strong for Cam there. So let's go back to your high school days. Where were those?
So I went to Joliet West High School, which is in Joliet, Illinois.
Okay.
I played volleyball for 4 years there and played golf there for 4 years as well.
Nice.
Growing up, let's say there's 35 people in my family, 30 of them are teachers. So literally they're all in that school district. So it was really nice being around that kind of environment. And I got to get back there a little bit more, but it's always such a good time going back to Joliet and seeing everybody.
Nice. Yeah, I was a school teacher for 31 years.
Oh, really? What did you teach?
I taught public speaking and debate. And
nice.
Literature and that kind of stuff. All communication type classes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I got my degree originally in special education, and with COVID, I got to go 2 more years of school, and I got my master's degree in supply chain, so now I'm at Boeing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah, no, it's always a good time.
Is your wife working?
Yeah, she's a PA at Mercy. She's got a new job at Mercy Hospital, so she does like heart surgeries.
I've seen that on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she just started that job maybe 2 months ago now.
Okay.
But she just had shoulder surgery not too long ago from a volleyball injury. So she's been working
really?
away. Yeah,
She's still playing?
No.
Oh,
from when she
back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh
She just kept playing
gosh.
on it, but she was a libero when she came here, so she didn't really have to swing or do anything like that.
Got it. Yeah. She's in Washington, right?
Yes, sir.
High school?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Washington High School, Washington, Missouri. There comes Braxton. Oh, yeah, Kyle Schnook, one of our liberos, playing outside right now.
The energy's high out there.
Oh, you got to love it. Boys are always having a good time. Between this and the NFL draft, everyone's super pumped right now.
Yeah, it was a good night last night.
It was great.
It really was.
Great.
And then the Blues were still playing after that. I didn't realize they were going to be playing that late.
I saw they went up 3-0. What happened?
7-2.
7-2?
Yeah.
Let's hope they didn't use all their goals.
I know.
God.
They got that. They need that same buzz on Sunday.
Yeah, I caught the first period, and they came out swinging. That was a great game.
Yeah, the crowd helped a lot, I heard. So, yeah. So the draft was over. I caught it late, but I caught up because I was here at the awards last night.
Oh, yeah.
So I finally, I just going through the dial, and I go, my gosh, they're still playing. They started an hour later because it was East Coast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, hopefully that next game's not at 8:30, is it?
I don't know.
I was about to say. That was an awful
Some series will probably end by Sunday. So.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, back to volleyball.
Yeah.
So why did you come to Fontbonne?
Why? I came to Fontbonne because of the culture. TJ and Amir were both freshmen when I was coming in as a graduating senior. So they really laid the groundwork for the culture that this program set, and they got in guys like me and Zach and good buddy Sebastian Roca, who's not here right now. But we got some good players that contributed a lot over the years, and it just kept trickling down. Every single year we'd get 2 or 3 high contributors. Oh, hello, Danielle. Danielle, they let me on a hot mic.
Yeah. I promise I'll be good.
Oh. Never thought this would happen again after 2019. This is great. What up, Carl? I'm vibing. But yeah, no, I loved Fontbonne. I had a few other schools I was looking at closer to home, but honestly, I was trying to get as far away from home as possible. And
interesting.
Needless to say, St. Louis, 4 hours away, was as far as I could get.
Well, that's far enough.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's
You're
just
over
close
the
enough
river
to home.
Yeah. So were your parents able to come to many games then?
Oh, literally every game.
That's what I thought.
They did not miss. I mean, they're here right now.
That's great.
No, they didn't miss. I mean, they probably made it on almost every single away trip that we had outside of the California one, but even they came to one of the California ones. So,
oh my gosh.
No, they were a fantastic support system.
That's
and even
great.
when we went to the NCAA tournament, I had a good 30, 40 people turn out for that just from home.
Yes.
So we got a great family, man. Everyone supports each other. It's so much fun.
And you and your wife's family are meshed pretty well?
Oh yeah. We're all sitting right here.
That's great.
It's a good combination.
Well, nice. You dated for a while though, right?
Yeah, we started dating when I was a sophomore,
okay.
And then she went away for 2.5 years to PA school in Kansas City.
Okay.
And then I stayed here and kept playing volleyball.
That's right, you did. You were going to play sprint football for a quick second, were you?
I was, and then I couldn't walk by the end of volleyball season. So I was like, what a save by Jimmy. What a save. Get up. Oh, Jimmy.
All that for nothing.
Oh. But yeah, no. Technically no one can tell me I didn't play sprint football. I just grabbed a jersey from down there. So
good for you.
I got a jersey. You should grab one before you leave.
TJ got a helmet the other day.
I saw that. He's got to put that in a case.
Yes.
No, that was nice.
Yeah, we covered those games too, man.
Yeah.
It was
great.
Awesome.
You know what I actually do have a piece of is a piece of the Death Star that used to sit in the middle, the big scoreboard that we had right in the middle. When they took it down, I got one of the 4 side panels. Yeah.
Nice.
Me and Rothstein have 2 of the 4 of those.
I forgot we had that center clock for a long time.
It was amazing. I loved it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we definitely got nicer scoreboards now, but it gave the gym a little bit of character. It was nice. Oh, Fontbonne forever. You're looking good.
He just bought one of the hoodies out there.
Oh, yeah. You're looking good over there,
He gave up his Cub shirt. He had a Cub shirt on.
I don't know. You got a Cub shirt on? That's tough. That's tough. Change out that shirt, man.
So were you a Cub fan on your side?
For sure.
No doubt.
That was my first year at Fontbonne was the year the Cubs won the World Series.
Oh, golly.
So that was a fun time. I remember.
Was that the first in forever for them too?
Oh yeah, it was like the first in like 106 years or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. No, but I remember the next day after the World Series. I mean, the night of, we're going crazy, and we had maybe 6 Chicago guys in the entire school.
Oh, yeah.
But the next day, I had my Cubs W flag tied around my neck, and I had some of the sisters, the Fontbonne, that were still floating around, yelling at me the next day, being like, "You guys will never win another one." I'm like, "Wow!" I'm like, of all people,
give us some props at least.
Geez, let me have some fun here. Come on.
Yeah, we haven't won it in forever.
Yeah.
St. Louis wins almost all the time. Well, they used to.
Well, hey, anytime they're the wild card, they're a scary team.
Yeah. No, that was a good World Series for them. For Chicago.
Oh yeah. No, that was awesome.
Yeah, they deserved it.
Actually, so me, Zach Rothstein, TJ drove a separate car, and Sebastian Roca, we were going to drive up to the World Series parade. TJ got there. Me, Zach, and Sebastian went to go see a concert that night, and then we left. We were going to get home up to Chicago for the parade, probably by like midnight, 1 a.m. And as we're driving up there, we hit Farmington, Illinois, and I blew a tire.
Oh.
Blew a tire, so we never made it to the parade.
Oh.
So that was a very sad drive home on a spare tire.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it was not good.
Just the rubber one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, just a small guy.
Golly.
But I had a beater.
Well, it sucks you never made it to where you were going.
I know. But I had a beater 01 Buick Century. One window was halfway down because it ran out of power. Another window was sealed shut because it ran out of power.
Yeah.
That was not a good day.
And we're talking now November at this point, right?
Oh, yeah. It was not warm. Not warm.
So what are some of your memories on this floor in particular?
On this floor, I mean, there's been so many great memories. I mean, just going through the years, I mean, we got better every single year that we were here. Yeah. Even if the end result didn't show it all the time, we always got better. I mean, everyone likes to look at that 2019 and the 2021 championship seasons, but I mean, one of the best games we ever played that was really the turning point for Fontbonne was the 2017 Lakeland game. We went in there and we weren't really playing for anything. It was the last game of our regular season. We were on a 6-game winning streak, and we get to the game. It's their senior nights. They're playing their seniors, you know, not all their starters, because one, they got to play those guys, and two, they didn't really respect us too much. And we go down 2-0, and we came back and reverse swept them.
Oh my!
Yeah, so that was a huge turning point for the program. And then the next year, we ended up losing the game to Loris here to get into our first ever conference championship appearance. But we had a great crowd here. Everyone was super supportive for really all sports. And then 2019, obviously, winning the championship against Carthage and just going, I think it was 26-3 or something like that.
Yep.
Finishing the Elite Eight. But no, just it's easy to talk about how we did as a team and talk about records and stuff like that, but just the relationships built and the things off the court mean so much more. I mean, I had 3 of the guys out there in my wedding party, and
that's so cool.
About 25 more at the actual wedding. No, it was great. The bill for the wedding wasn't great, but the wedding itself was great.
That was Sarah's problem, wasn't
it? I wish. No, we had very, very, very supportive families, so it all worked out. But yeah, it was a great day. We actually got married at the Fontbonne Church.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
All the guys got dressed in the locker room. The girls got dressed in East Hall in that student welcome center area.
Yes.
And then got married in the chapel. We had our rehearsal dinner up in DSAC the night before.
That's perfect.
Oh, it was great. It was great. And Nancy and Danielle were super nice to give us that space and let us use that. but it was fantastic.
That saved you some bucks there.
Oh no, it was very nice. And to be honest with you, I'm not. I'm Methodist, but I'm not very religious myself, and she's Catholic, so that was the only way I was willing to get married in a church was if it was here. So it was the best of both worlds.
Yes,
yeah,
I get it.
My grandpa, who's not here, he'll be here in a couple weeks for the Hall of Fame, but he was the minister for it, and he did the whole thing. So it was great.
Yeah, my grandfather married me too.
That's awesome.
That's very
such
cool.
a good feeling. Such better memories too, especially when you're not tied to a church or anything.
Yep.
I guess there was no touch there. We got our All-American up there line judging for us right now because he's got a fractured ankle. Ryan Lively.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think he's faking it. I think he just wants the attention.
Stop.
No, he's being a good sport up there right now. He's also watching all the draft for us, too, and he's updating the guys on the court.
Oh, fun.
Doing a little bit of everything. Oh, see you, Nate.
I don't see his phone out right now.
No, I think he's doing his job right now.
So are you an NFL fan, too?
Oh, of course. Chicago Bears. So I'm usually very sad for about 6 months out of the year.
Well, they had a good pick last night.
We did. We actually just got
it would help to have a lineman on the to help Caleb.
Yeah, no, that'll be good. And then we just got Luther Burton out of Missouri.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We just took him, with our second overall pick.
Okay.
And we traded our second round to the Bills, and we have two later second round picks, I think.
Okay.
Haven't really been able to track it since I've been down there, but
yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, no, we're enjoying.
No, I'm when the Rams left, when the Cardinals left, I tried to be a Bears fan.
Yeah.
When the football Cardinals left.
Oh, the football Cardinals.
Yeah, when they went to Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how old I am. So
I just get annoyed that you can't watch the games. It's like it gets blacked out in this area.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And I'm not going to buy the NFL ticket. That's too expensive.
I bought NFL Plus one year thinking it would show me all the games. It didn't show me a single thing. I still had to sign in with Xfinity. It was awful.
Not cool.
They gave me Red Zone. Red Zone was nice, but I just want to watch the out-of-market games. James. We got so many guys here who weren't setters that are setting tonight.
That's funny.
It's great. James Sauerman down there who's setting on the right side. He was a middle for us for 4 years. But every time he comes to these alumni games, he wants to set. We gave him one game against Mobap JV. I think it was his senior year to set, and it went to a 5-set match. And then we had to play the varsity match after that. We had a 4-set match. So we sat there in that gym at Greenville's gym for about 5 hours.
Gosh.
But James ran that whole offense. He ran a 5-1 the whole time, won the game, and like 44 assists or something like that, or 33, some number like that.
We got a tighter set here in this one than we did in the first one.
Yeah, they're playing well right now.
The second one was kind of a blowout.
Woo. Good ball.
That was a good hit.
Yeah. Now we still got a lot of guys here who are playing, and since the one in January got canceled, we were able to push this back far enough, and we were able to get a lot of the guys who are playing at other schools out here to come out and play.
Right, good
so
point.
It's really good seeing them out here. They'll always drive back and hang out with us, and it's good to see them.
But now they can officially play.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's good to see all the guys out here.
Yeah, TJ was telling me you guys sent a couple to Greenville, some to Westminster, UHSP.
Yep.
So, those are Greenville and UHSP are our partners. So they got a lot of airtime on Prepcast.
Oh, yeah, they are. And we got 4 of our guys who they're done. Not done playing. They're playing club volleyball. They're at Wash U. So we got a lot of our guys who are still playing club ball over there.
Yeah. The kid on the far right side now, he's playing over there, I understand.
Yes. The guy with the mullet.
Side there,
yeah, Mississippi Mud Flap over there.
Yeah, he is something.
He's going to run a slide right here.
He's ambidextrous, too.
Give it back to him. Here it goes. Oh, James, what are you doing?
Went the wrong way. But he does. You don't know if he's hitting right or left, though.
And you know why that happened? It was because he hurt his shoulder playing with us his sophomore year or junior year. So he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to learn how to be lefty. He is the most ridiculous athlete I've met in my entire life.
Crazy.
The dude jumps higher off of 1 foot than he does off of 2. It's nuts. Got Tangus Kelly back there.
Nice service.
Oh, Jimmy, no. Watch out, girl.
Oh, well, I think she saw it coming.
I will say, too, I got to say before the end of the set, Nate Pash is the greatest right side I've ever played with. I've been giving him stuff for the past couple years. He really wanted me to say it tonight, so I'm going to say it.
Good
I'm going to admit it.
Where you go,
I'm
Nate?
Be the bigger guy.
You got it out of him.
You did it. You earned my approval.
Yeah, we followed him in high school.
Oh, yeah?
At St. Mary's.
Yeah.
You know, and I was so glad that he came here.
Yeah, no, and he's got a really unique path, too, because he didn't play club volleyball. So he was just going to come to Fontbonne just to go to school, which why would you do that, Nate? But Mike Haston and Ryan LeGrand ended up talking to him and convinced him to come play because they knew one of his brothers. And he's been a great member of our team. He started getting some serious playing time towards his junior year, and then he was a massive contributor for us his last 2-3 years.
Yeah, he got better every year.
Yeah, me and him are the only two that ended up playing 6 years.
Okay.
So we had a lot of other guys who went 5, but me and him definitely we were in it for the long haul. He's a teacher now at Fox. He's the head coach over there.
That's where I taught. That's where I was a teacher.
Yeah.
That's where I met Haston and LeGrand.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were the coaches there.
Yeah, they were.
And I was the PA announcer, and they go, we're going to Fontbonne. Can you come over and do that for over us? I go, absolutely.
So is that when you started Prepcast?
No, I started before that.
Oh, gotcha.
And I've been doing softball since 2012.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, they knew I was involved in that, so. But yeah, that first year I was a PA for them over here.
And we got 22-19. Here we go, Amir. Let's see something. I do got to ask you one softball memory.
Yep.
Do you remember the game that we were out there in the outfield and we blew up a grill in center field?
Yes. Yes.
Me and Zach were talking about that today. He stayed at my house, and I just remember him lifting up the cover of it and a fireball just hitting his face. His eyebrows were singed.
Yes. Yeah. No, we've had some good times at ABC. That's
a great field. Oh.
Somebody's got to take that scoreboard sign, though. I don't know who's going to do it.
And why not you?
I know.
Why not you? We'll go there under the cover of night. We'll get it for you.
You guys have the scoreboard stuff, so.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, if I took it, though, I would give it to the first coach that I started with. It has most of the wins for Fontbonne.
Who was that?
Bill Rosen.
That's what it was. Yeah, because he left the year before I came in.
Rosner.
But I heard about him a lot.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
He really puts softball on the map.
No, that's
for
awesome.
Fontbonne.
I mean, you can just tell by that poster.
Those are a lot
there.
of his numbers, yeah. Ronnie's doing a good job, too.
Yeah, no, she's great.
She
just
was
tough,
in high school.
tough situation.
At Seckman High School. She went to Seckman. I was at Fox.
Oh, nice.
So, but we covered Seckman in softball as well. So I remember her as a high school player.
That's awesome. She had a good career, didn't she?
She did, and then she went to college in Wichita or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can't remember where she played college. It wasn't local. But she's got her 50 wins the other day.
Oh, nice.
So that's cool.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
And Saturday was the ring ceremony from winning conference last year. So
James! Nice.
So I thought the girls already had their rings, but maybe some don't.
Yeah, maybe they're just waiting for senior night or something. That way everyone can come back in town.
Yeah, I know. She gave me mine, so I have mine. I'm wearing it tomorrow.
They look good?
Oh,
yeah.
Sweet.
Dude, that's what we wanted was rings, and for some reason they just kept getting us watches every time we won.
Oh, yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah, softball was watches until it was this ring, yeah. I had a lot of watches.
We saw the basketball team getting all the rings. We're like, we literally asked for this. They're like, you guys can't have them. We're like, that's all we wanted. They're like, you'll wear watches more. I'm like, I'm not wearing watches.
No.
And especially those watches.
And I won't wear the ring a lot either, but I will
cool
tomorrow. Yeah. I didn't want to wear it like last night. I would have worn it to the awards.
Yeah.
But since not everybody's got their rings yet, I'm not going to be the first one to show mine.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
When the girls ended up winning conference, when Jimmy and I were coaching, there was the same situation where they wouldn't let us get rings because we had to pay a little bit extra money for them.
Oh,
it was either watches or we ended up getting pendants. It's like little necklaces. So it's like the top of a ring, but it's a necklace.
Yes.
Which is, it's fine.
Sure. Yeah, I won't wear it to wear it, but I'll.
No, it's
I
cool
have
to
it in
wear
a case right now.
Oh, here we go. Let's get one here, James. It's for game point here.
It's the best rally so far.
Oh, no, Zach!
That's 4.
Oh, no! Ball game. All right, team on the left got a win.
Yeah, for once.
Yeah, we'll take that.
I don't know who's coming up, Kyler, but I appreciate you coming up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll make sure we get someone fun up here for you.
Yeah. Somebody from the Hall of Fame, I think.
Yeah, I'll get Zach.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Kyler Van Rossum O'Connell. with us. Class of 22. We're about to start set 4. Let me see if I can bring the history of tonight. Oh, I think no, here it is. I can bring it over and you can see our evolution of sets here. Not that it matters. But the gold team, which is on the right side for me, is up 2 sets to 1. And the rumor is we're going to play 5 maybe. Everybody's going to the bar for a drink real quick. I'll play that video again for you in case you missed it earlier. And we'll see who I get as my partner.
We're going to take a quick group photo, play one more set, and once we are done taking this photo, I've been told to inform everyone that food and beverages are open.
Looks like we're going to do one more set. So let's play this video and then
one more set, and then camaraderie.
It's gonna go down. Fontbonne, for the first time since 2005, wins the SLIAC tournament.
That's for sure. And one today, lose one tomorrow. But it certainly looks like there's a shot and goal. Weaver was looking for a goal.
Jones, and that's a win for Fontbonne, and they go back to the regionals. It's been about
passes this one's line back to the center, and that'll get down and get past the center fielder to Bird and go all the way to the wall. Cooper going around second. They're going to send him. Not going to be. The throw comes in. Not in time.
True, and Fontbonne will advance on to NCAA tournament. And another shutout for Mary Beers. And an excited Fontbonne Griffin team gathers and does the traditional bout. There's the celebration for the Griffins at the center of the field. And their supporters rush on the field as they've punched their ticket to the NCAAs.
College events here on the network.
Lee lifts a deep one, and it's gone. Into left field, Carter Lee. A leadoff home run. This one.
Welcome back to Fontbonne University. I'm Tim Miller, and so far we've had Dan Kohler and TJ Vorva and Kyler and Russell O'Connell. Not sure who we're going to have sitting in for this final set. We understand this is the final set. They've already had their team picture, and after that it'll be open for food and drink, I think. I think we have Zach Rothstein coming our way here. As soon as he gets past the crowd. It's been a great night so far, and this, I think, from what I understand, will be our last set. All right, Zach, Tim Miller. All right. So who are we joining with here now?
Zach Rothstein. Hey, how we doing?
Now, you're going to be nice, right? You're going to be good.
I was told to be nice, so I will be nice.
Well, congrats on the Hall of Fame, my friend. That is great.
Appreciate it. Thank you. It was a long time coming. I think we had a lot of people get in. I think there was a few that kind of deserved it, but utterly, I think getting 3 in is a big accomplishment, especially not having any before. So yeah.
Right. Oh, you guys are the first 3.
First 3. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it was kind of a big deal for our program. I'll say, probably might add a few before, but you know, it is what it is. The school closing. You know, you have to do what you have to do and at least we get 3 in there. So that's big.
So you and Kyler and Ryan, right?
Yeah.
The other ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're not here to call the game a whole lot, my friend. We're here to kind of share stories and,
awesome.
and
I
your
love
experiences. And I'm just here to kind of guide you through all of that
Perfect.
As we go. And it's been a great night, though, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been phenomenal. TJ did an awesome job setting this up. We have, you know, in the corner there's pictures from, I would say, every year, even before me. It's awesome. Just getting all the old coaches here. Mike and Ryan, you know, even the first coach was here. It's special. It's special, and it's good to see because, you know, before maybe we wouldn't have had this many people here, so it's good to see, you know, everyone show up for kind of this big event in the last one. It means a lot.
Because you had some, in January, you still had guys playing on teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had Greenville or Westminster or Pharmacy or whatever, so.
No, yeah, it definitely worked out.
They officially couldn't have played, you know.
It definitely worked out that we were able to move it back a little bit, get a few more young guns in here, and have a little bit better volleyball. Let's be honest here.
Oh, it's been some good volleyball.
Yeah, no,
tonight,
we've actually been blocking pretty well. A few of us are a little out of shape, but that's okay. We had our day.
I didn't realize that there was Alumni Open gyms that has been going on.
Yeah, Kai and them like to get after it, especially with the gym being so open. You know, I was when I was here for a little bit, when I did my quick stint at State Farm, I'd be out here passing a little bit and having some open gyms. So it was fun, but definitely not. You know, I'm a head coach now, so I got to make sure I'm mentoring more than I'm playing now.
So where are you coaching?
I'm coaching at Rockford University. I'm the head women's coach over there.
Okay.
Still Division III. Just became the head coach about 3 months ago now.
Oh,
so
man,
yeah,
congratulations.
Appreciate
That's
that.
So cool.
Appreciate that.
That is so cool. I remember watching you. I mean, I don't think we've ever met before, but I've been a part. I own Prepcast, so. But it's been great to follow your career all the way through. That's for sure.
I appreciate it. I actually think there was one, and I wanted to bring this up because I think there was a softball game after one of our
the blow up of the. And you.
Someone told me, okay, so I went out there. Now, granted, this is after we just beat Carthage, right? So we're celebrating a little, and we like to go to all the games. So we were helping out. We were supporting the softball team, and I remember bringing a fire pit. We went out and got a bunch of charcoals, and I threw all the charcoals in at once, and then we just lit it, and I go back, and it's just an explosion. And I remember your call, like, oh, there's an explosion in the outfield.
You got some extracurricular in the outfield.
Yeah, and really all we were doing was trying to cook some food. We were hungry. And
I heard you got your face kind of smashed.
Yeah, no, my eyebrows were a little tough, but we took care of that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I've been doing softball since 2012, and you know, it's going to be tough in a couple weeks, you know, and I just hope they can make it to the postseason. That would be so cool. Win or lose, just to get there, but they got a shot. They have Eureka and Principia still, and they could be 4 wins there. So
yeah, no, and anytime, you know, when you're playing with that kind of last year mentality, you know, anyone has a shot. So I mean, I think it was one school. I think it was South Alabama something last year. They made the D3.
Yeah.
They made the D3 baseball. My old school center actually played in the same conference, and they were closing. And they actually made it I think they made it to the Elite 8 or something in the Final Four.
The school had closed while they were playing.
They were all going to play at different schools, but it was the last year, so it was kind of special. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah. So I just, for their sake, I hope that. And again, for anybody that can have a team, I know men's volleyball wasn't able to, but, and women's soccer couldn't, but, the men's soccer program, and what's cool is that Danielle brought us in for PrepCast to anything at home this year. So we were able to give them a thank you to them for coaches and for players to sticking it out one more time, because that's a lot.
No, definitely. I think it's huge. We don't get to see, obviously we get to see how many viewers there might be after a game and stuff, but especially it's nice for those families that are a little farther. I know my family's watching at home. They couldn't make it this weekend. So, it's just good to see kind of get those D3 kind of sports live so everyone can kind of see it. It's nice.
Yeah. So, we still are partners with a lot of other colleges, but it's going to be tough for me because that's where I got my start.
Yeah.
Is when I bought it while I was with a softball team at Principia.
Yeah.
I bought the company.
Oh, okay, very good.
In between two games.
Okay.
So I told the coach, I go, hey, by the way, I own what I'm talking about.
That's great because I think our guy was Coach K.
Sure.
Coach K was awesome. Shout out Coach K. He did a wonderful job kind of bringing a voice to a team that maybe didn't have the biggest voice in volleyball.
And women and men.
Women and men. He did
right.
He did an awesome job. When everyone might have not had the best kind of word of mouth about us, he would be preaching to everybody about us. So it was good. Anywhere I went, they're like, yeah, Coach K always talks about you guys. So it was awesome. It was great. He was a great kind of, it's always nice when you have someone that knows volleyball too that's talking about it because he's ahead of the refs and the ups and downs. And he's like, I don't know, Augie, that's a bad and
I know.
He gets into it and it's really good. And my family and everyone appreciates it because they can kind of learn and understand it.
Right.
They don't know everything about volleyball, but hearing Coach K, they know a little bit more. So it's
you
good.
can learn the game if you just listen.
Exactly.
For sure. And I know a couple. He wasn't able to make a few, and he goes, Tim, it's you.
Yeah.
You got to do it. I go, oh my gosh, man, I love volleyball, but I'm not you, Coach K.
Yeah.
All right, we're underway here. We don't have the rotations on this, but
no.
you know a lot of the guys out there.
Yeah, Tony Brooks back to serve. One of our best servers back in the day when we were making our runs in the NCAA tournament. Let's see, Nate Pash out there. One of our mediocre right sides.
Well, and Kyler had to say, okay, I'm going to have to say this because he told me to say it.
Oh,
He's the best right side I've ever played with.
Yeah, no. I also want to bring up a story about Kai. I don't know if he said anything, but, everyone likes to talk about my antics and how I got a little too aggressive sometimes and talked a lot of smack. But, if I remember correctly, Kyler was the only one to ever get a red card for our team. Yep. I never personally ever in my entire career.
You knew where to stop.
I knew where the line was. I might have towed the line a little bit. I might have jumped across, but I never got caught on the other side of that line. So that was big. So I kind of hold that over him. He got that red card, cost us a point. I was like, I never cost our team a point. I might have got it to a lot of yellow cards, definitely a lot of yellow cards, but never a red. So that was nice. Nate with a nice play.
I didn't know that he got a red card. That's
so
cool.
I think it was 1 year, one of my favorite trips. I think it was our Philly trip. We went down. We got to do, the Rocky Steps and everything. It was a blast. It was a blast. It was so much fun. That was, one of my. I think it was my sophomore year or so. But we were playing. I think it was Hunter, a top-ranked team in the area. One of our first big games, and we were talking smack. They were talking smack. But, yeah, I just remember clear as day, Kai got one. He was talking to the up official when we were switching sides. And this guy let him have it right away. It was great. So, yeah, I definitely hold that one over him for sure.
Who's our ref right now? Is that Lively up there?
No, I think that's Braden.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Braden. We better watch out. I don't know if he's fully watching the game. He might have his phone out. The Bears are drafting pretty soon.
I heard.
So, yeah, Seth Rollins just did our last one. Hello. How you guys doing?
That's funny.
He was a big proponent of making sure that the draft is on in the locker room, so we are definitely watching.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not on the TV over there.
Yeah, there's enough. We're making sure after, but there's enough slideshow pictures where it'll probably roll all night. So.
Oh, that's true. That was a nice thing to put together as well.
Yeah, absolutely. T did a great job.
Oh, speaking of red cards.
Yeah, there's another guy out there that maybe should have deserved one. Nate Pash, he's a little soft-spoken, but he gets out there once in a while, and you got to bring him back.
Yeah. So where was your high school days?
Brother Rice High School. I was lucky enough. I got pulled up to varsity my sophomore year, and I think probably still my favorite volleyball trip of all time. Even my parents didn't know that I was making the varsity team, and it was we were ESPN like 9 or 11 ranked in the country. We were a really good team, and the first tournament of the year was in Hawaii. And, you know, my parents were like, hey, like, if you make the team, like, I don't know if they have a ticket for you. And I was kind of like, if I'm on that team, I am going to Hawaii. And in 2 weeks, here I was flying to Hawaii.
Dude,
yep,
so cool.
7 days. We ended up being the only other state of the United States. I think the only other state was California to win this tournament in Hawaii.
Okay.
So Illinois, we were the second one. So it was a pretty big deal.
Wow.
There was a lot of really good talent out there. All these guys, they could jump out of the gym. It didn't matter how tall they were all jumping out of the gym. They were all, I think one of my favorite parts is we had kind of a luau after, and we got to meet everybody, and they were all like, yeah, we go surfing every day. And I'm like, this is totally different lifestyle.
Oh, a little bit.
But it was awesome. It was a great experience for sure.
Well, that's in high school, for goodness sake.
Yeah, and that was my sophomore year, so it was kind of from
how does
then
it get better from there? You know?
Yeah, no, it doesn't get much better. But then, you know, deciding to come to Fontbonne, I think that was the next step for me.
And where did that decision come in? How did that come in?
You know, I think the biggest factor when we were deciding was, you know, obviously school, obviously money, but then when we really broke it down, there was a specific weekend where Mike and Ryan were supposed to come see me and my team play, and we ended up not being very good the first day, and we ended up being sent to a different location. So not like basically at some tournaments there's like 40 courts, and then you get sent to a different gym, there'll only be like 10, right? Well, they show up and stay at my gym the entire time, and it was kind of like, you know, they wanted me as much as I wanted to be somewhere, right? And it just proved, you know, there wasn't a lot of other coaches. They were talking to me, but they didn't have that type of dedication.
Okay.
So it definitely showed me, you know, where I stood with them, and then my meeting with them, and when I came on campus, just kind of laying everything out and saying, you know, we're bringing 2 liberos in. We think you can be the guy. You know, we want you. We think you can be in the top 10 all time. And, you know, I told them I want to be there. I want to be number 1 in Fontbonne history. And, you know.
And you made it.
A few years later, there we are. So it all worked out. Even
now, nationwide, are you still number 1?
I am still currently number 1. I check once a year about, you know, just to make sure, because it's still in my recruiting pitch. You know, I got to make sure.
Oh, as a coach.
As a coach, you know, you got to make sure that you got accolades like that, you got to make sure you're on top of those. So making sure
only one person can say it.
Exactly. So I had to make sure that I get that out there, especially.
Well, and congrats on that too.
I appreciate that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a big one. I remember it was MCVL that day. I don't know if I want to say it was the 2020 season, might have been 2021. I'm not sure. It was that COVID year, so we didn't really know if we were going to get a chance to play. And then the next year, here we are hosting, and I think 30 digs away, and the numbers weren't adding up right. I was kind of out of it. You know, it was going to be tough. It was going to be tight. And I just remember Baker Mayfield style. I woke up feeling dangerous that day, and I remember texting my dad, you know, hey, don't count me out just yet. I'm feeling pretty good, and I only had 9 the first one, but I didn't hang my head. I still felt good. And that next day, we played a 4-set versus Mount Union, and I just remember there was a sequence. I think I had 4 or 5 digs in a row, and I look up, and everyone's cheering. I knew I knew I had it. You know, Coach K is going nuts up there. It was definitely a big moment. It was huge. They said it over the broadcast after, so it was definitely a big one for me. And of course, since we won, we got to play in the NCAA tournament. So we got an extra week. So it was definitely
That's true too.
Yeah, no, definitely winning. You know, I was hoping, you know, if I win, I'd be able to play a few more. I'd be able to get a few. I think I only got like 8 or 9 in that next match. We played 3 All-Americans.
You guys drew a tough seed, right?
Yeah, we played against the team that had 3 All-Americans and Player of the Year on the outside. And so it was a tough draw, but we lost in 5 ultimately. We just had a few too many service errors, and, you know, that's just how it went. But it was a great game. If you're going to go out, you might as well go out in something like that. You know, the next 3 games were kind of, I think they said.
It sucks that it's one and done. You know, it really is. Baseball, softball gets at least a couple, you know.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that's you know, the love for it, that it's only one. Because, you know, let's be honest with us. If we had to play 2 against Carthage back in the day, I don't think we take 2.
That's a good point.
I don't think we take 2.
That's a good point.
You know what?
Yep,
I don't
your
think
day sometimes.
It's just our day, you know, and that's kind of was always a mentality that my mom said, you know, anyone could be anyone on any day. It's just your day, and sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not. So, you know, on that day it didn't fall our way, but we definitely had enough fall our way that it was a great experience. So
what you learned here, how are you going to use that as a coach?
I mean, I think one thing is our chaos drill. Love that, getting ready. But I think the biggest thing I talked about kind of how they recruited, and I think that's kind of going to be a recruiting philosophy that I have, making sure that the kids that I'm, you know, recruiting know that I care and I want them to be there as much as they want to be there, and just showing up, you know, making sure I'm on courts as much as they were. But I think, you know, the grittiness here, you know, I think Kyler said it back in the day, you know, it might have not been the greatest quote back in the day, but we don't have the, you know, the nicest things. We don't have the nicest gym, but we have each other. And that's, you know, I think that was the thing that we took from it. You know, our teams were always one of the closest on campus. You know, whenever there was an event, we were always together. You could just tell our bench was always involved. It was a great time. And, you know, that's kind of, you know, although the school's closing and it's terrible, you know, we would love to come back and do this every year for the rest of our lives.
No kidding.
You know, it's a great trip that I would love to put on my calendar. But, you know, at the end of the day, the thing that Fontbonne was the greatest at was the people. And I think that'll live on for a long, long time. So I definitely think, you know, guys like Braxton and TJ and Amir and all them, we'll make sure that this lives on for a long time. And Jimmy and, you know, everyone in this gym will make sure that we do things the right way to kind of bring everyone back and try to get at least a weekend together where we can do something, because it's definitely important. I think what we did was pretty special and something that kind of wasn't replicated a lot here, and we should celebrate it kind of.
Well, it might be where some of you were coaching. You just kind of have it there, you know, or something like that. Rotate that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know a few of us coaching. I don't know if TJ's looking to coach anywhere else, but, you know, hoping Jimmy gets back out there somewhere.
Yeah, he had a job and said it just wasn't the right fit.
Yeah, you know, sometimes some things just don't fit the right way. I was lucky enough when I left and went to school, Center College, it felt and it fit so right, and everything that I was doing was just all for what I was looking to do and accomplish in my career was to get to be a head coach, and that stepping stone was what I needed, and it worked out so well for me. So I was really thankful, but I know it doesn't always go that way. So it was tough to hear that from Jim, but I hope he gets back out there, even if it's club coaching or something like that.
You know he will. He can't be away from it. That's
I don't think so. I think he had, you know, I loved his game plans back in the day. He was definitely one that liked to strategize a lot. So that's one thing I'll take from him for sure, is making sure, you know, he was a guy that would match up rotations really well. And, you know, we do scrimmage practices where certain guys are doing certain things, and he was really good at strategizing. So that's definitely something that I will take with me for sure.
And what are you doing at the university? Are you teaching too, or what?
No, just head coaching. Yeah, for right now, we'll keep it at the head coaching job for now. If they got some openings that they need me to fill, then we'll work with that. But for now, we're just head coaching. We got to make sure it works first.
What's your degree in?
Sports management, minor, master's in business administration as well.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yep, when I came back, my mom said I couldn't just come back to play. Got to get a master's or something. So it worked out in my favor, so I appreciate that, Mom.
That's good. And where do your parents live?
Evergreen Park, Illinois.
Okay.
South side. They would host some of our dinners when we'd bring in town. I know one of our favorite. We had a few kids didn't know what snow felt like, and we had a blizzard one day. Yeah, Ivan, one of our liberos, didn't know what snow felt like in our front yard, and he's doing snow angels in the front.
Oh boy!
Yeah, it was awesome. So it was a good time. I think we were playing IIT that weekend. So we drove up and had dinner at my house, and it was awesome. It's a great time.
That's cool.
We set up tables in the front, and we're all, in the front, talking with my parents and everything. It was great. My parents make it to a lot of games, just like the Van Ross and O'Connells in the front of you. So,
he was bragging on them tonight.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, they get to everything.
And they're here right now too.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't go away.
That's okay.
No, in a good way. They know it.
I don't know what the score is here.
It's 13-15. Someone's winning.
This is, I think, the last set, though, from what I understand. Oh, we're going to have
finally, we get some real experience up here. Yep. A little Haston up there to ref.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
It's good timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Did I want to know, did Kyler share his favorite game?
Well, you tell me. What was it?
So I don't know what the consensus is. I think a lot of people go that Carthage game, and I think that's true. I think there's not really topping that one. But I think there was a second game, our freshman year against Lakeland.
Oh, he mentioned Lakeland.
Okay, yeah. Our freshman year against Lakeland, we're getting bounced.
Well, it was the last game of the year, right?
Yep, last game of the year. Actually happened to be on my birthday.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and we're getting bounced. These guys are talking through the net. And we're getting mad at each other, and finally I just remember that third set, Tony Pitaro just bounced the ball and just starts, woo, woo, just starts screaming in these guys' face, and we just go, all right, it's on. And all of a sudden we win the third, we win the fourth, and everyone will never tell you that this ball was not out of bounds. This lady called out, and this ball was about 1.5 foot in. It was.
Oh my gosh!
But it was our way. It was our way, and the up ref even said he apologized to them, but he called it our way. I've never seen us got through the hitting. I never seen us got through to shake hands faster in our lives.
Oh yeah.
We got through there.
Before you change your mind, let's go.
It felt like we won the Super Bowl that day. That locker room, I think we celebrated for a good 20, 30 minutes. It was incredible.
Well, and it propelled you guys to the next year.
Yeah, I think it was one of those. I think there was always something that kind of propelled us to the next year. I think the 1 year with losing to Loris and not making the tournament, I think that propelled us to the next year of Carthage. I think no one will tell you different.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that was really good about our team those years is, when we got a bad taste in our mouth, we didn't let it get out easy. And all summer we're all watching that Loris game over. We're all, you know what I mean? We're all talking, and that was kind of like, okay, this is our year. This is our year. We're gonna go make something happen. And we always wanted to make that push towards Carthage, but, that year we were just like, let's put it all on the table. And truthfully, I mean, we were down 25-14 in that first set, and it looked pretty bleak, but, I mean, we had an all gas, no brakes mentality, and it worked out in our favor pretty well.
So where did that phrase come from, do you think?
So it was a term that I saw that Barstool was actually using.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was a term that I just loved because it was kind of, a mentality that there was no option to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was no option. So you're either going through that wall to get that ball or you're not. So that was kind of our mentality. And I think once we had TJ, he would come around and cut the brakes off from us. And it was just visually like, all right, you know what I mean? It's go time. And we had a lot of guys that year that were alpha males that were like, all right, let's go to work. Let's go to town. And it worked in our favor a lot. So it was good. I think
it's easy to say. It's another to live it. You know?
And we were behind in 90% of our matches. We started off, we would start off so bad and be like, all right, you can't win from behind if you're not from behind. So then we would just all of a sudden start roaring from behind, and all of a sudden we tie it up at 15s and we go on a good run. So we always knew that we were good enough. It was just putting the pieces in the right place and then having the mentality that we were going to do anything. And we were as best of friends on the court as we were off the court. A lot of these guys.
That's part of why you do it too, I think. Because you're doing it not just for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of us were at Kyler's wedding and in Kyler's wedding party.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
25 guys were
there.
there.
Yeah, it was a great night. So and just making sure it was fun. That's a lot of Fontbonne coming back to say hi. So it was good
to do it
see.
here on campus too, which is very cool.
It's awesome, and to be kind of the last ever event, I guess, in this gym is pretty cool. And
and it's appropriate.
Yeah, I think we deserve it. I think some of these athletes in this gym definitely deserve it. We have a lot of NCAA plaques and a lot of medals in this gym, and a lot of hardware. So I think we definitely deserve it.
And you look at the banners up there, and there's been success of really all programs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Along the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've definitely seen men's basketball step it up. I think we were always big fans of the soccer teams. They were always playing. I think Amir actually his senior year stepped in and played goalie for them.
Kitty.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So I think one of their goalies got injured and they needed a backup.
Well, he's got size.
He's got size, and he played back in the day. He played high school.
Okay.
So I remember we went to some of his games, and I think on senior night they let him play the second half. and we're roaring for him.
Oh,
it was unbelievable. It was great. He did great. He didn't let any goals score.
No way.
Nice. Yeah, no, he was good. He was really good. So it was fun.
And he knew you guys were there.
Oh, yeah. He knew we were supporting him. A lot of guys play. I know Tony back in the day. He played soccer, too. We'd always go and support them. We were always big. You know, this is a small school, but the people, you know, make sure that we look big and we represent and we show up at everyone else's games. So that was always a big thing for us. Making sure we get out. You know, you saw it at the softball games.
Oh, yeah.
We would get out and support for sure.
Yep. Softball's fun to watch, though. I mean, that's always been a good program.
Yeah, I would appreciate if we had, you know, a little closer stadium, but, you know,
right.
That's for another day.
Yeah, Kyler was telling me how you got some of the old scoreboard. Right? One of the panels or something?
Me, Kyler, and Sebastian. We, you know, sometimes we just have a horseshoe connected to us sometimes.
Okay.
And these guys are bringing the scoreboard down, and they're like, hey, we're about to throw somewhere. We're like, hey, can we take those panels? And there's 4 panels on the outside, and they're like, yeah. And our old AD, Maria's coming down. She's like, hey, can I get the other one? All of a sudden, 4 panels are gone, right?
Nice.
Yeah. So I still have it.
Perfect
I still hang it in my
timing.
room. No, it's so
Nice.
cool.
Very cool.
It's like our mini Jumbotron back in the day. So,
Yes.
yeah, we called it the Death Star. So I got a piece of history.
I forgot it was here. I really forgot all about that.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a little different design, but it was cool to have. It was definitely cool to have back in the day.
Yeah.
It was a little issue with volleyball.
A little bit.
But I personally didn't mind it as much because if you hit it, and it was probably going back on their side, it would kind of come back on our. So it could play in your favor if you knew how to play it.
Right.
Some of us did, some of us didn't.
We're at set point here. Staying alive. No, that's going to do it, I think. Well, this had to come to an end sometime, Zach.
Absolutely, it does. But I appreciate it.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Yep, it's been a ride. Thank you to everyone watching. We appreciate it. You know, it's been an absolute journey. Oh, geez. Oh, they are doing one more.
The young guys versus the old guys.
Oh, okay.
We're going to play.
They're going to do one more young guys versus old guys. I don't know if my knees have it in me to step back out there. I might DS.
Give it a try, my friend.
We'll step it out there. But I appreciate it. Like I was saying, you know, we appreciate everyone watching when those years, even when we weren't good and then when we were good, you know, we'd have hundreds of people at our games. I know that North Central game, I think we had a packed stance on like a Wednesday night. That was amazing. Just having all of our families come to all the games, it was definitely special. So we appreciate it. And anyone who couldn't come tonight, we definitely appreciate you watching. So good luck to everyone.
Well, congrats on the Hall of Fame, my friend.
Yep, thank you. I
All right.
appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thank you, buddy.
Do you want me to send up anyone
somebody,
else?
yeah. I thought maybe is Lively here tonight? Or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Lively's in a boot, so he wasn't
yeah.
playing. I might have him, or I might have a fan favorite, James Sauerman. He has some great stories.
Okay.
So I don't know. Well, I might decide. All right.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, buddy. Looks like we are going to go to a 5th set. And while they're setting that up, we'll go to our. Well, maybe not. Are they setting up the chairs already? Maybe this is a set to 15. I'll tell you what, we'll play that movie again, and then I'll break it if we're done.
It's gonna go down. Fontbonne, for the first time since 2005, wins the SLIAC tournament.
That's for sure. Win one today, lose one tomorrow, but it certainly looks.
All right, let me kill this movie then. All right, we are back. We're not sure we're playing anymore, but we are joined by James Sauerman, and I was told that you've got all the good stories, my friend.
I've got a ton of good stories. I don't know how many of them I can tell.
Remember, this is PG.
You know, gosh, I've been around for a while. I saw Zach, Rothstein, Kyler make it through their entire COVID years.
Right.
I was here for Haston, and then Ryan, and then Jimmy, and then a spectator for TJ. So I've seen a lot of Fontbonne volleyball, and it's immensely proud. I mean, we started my freshman year 5-22,
wow.
And then 6, 7, 8 years later, we're competing for NCAA tournament runs.
No, it's a good story. It really is.
I mean, a good story. Yeah, and Fontbonne has given so many guys an opportunity to be competitive and play at a high level, and I think everybody is super grateful for that opportunity. So
and it's been a great night, too.
It has. I mean, so many faces from, Braxton Payne, who really set the foundation of what it meant to be a Griffin, and Jimmy Sticka, who not only was a legend as a player, but an incredible coach, and everybody after that. I mean, yeah, tons of great faces and lots of good memories, lots of good laughs happening down there for sure.
So on this floor, what are some of your best memories, though?
Oh, man. I was one of the assistants in 2019. So when we were playing North Central here, and I mean, you couldn't find a seat in the gym. There were so many people. I mean, that's an incredible memory. I think our run in 2021, again, was an assistant on that team, and that was incredible. And as cliche as it is, I mean, some of the grind we did when I was a player, I mean, again, not a lot of respect from a lot of opponents nationally.
Yes.
And so just being in here, grinding with these guys is something that, I remember daily, and I miss.
Yeah, there's so many alumni that are so close to each other. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is like a brotherhood. People ask me, like, do you have fraternities? Do you have sororities at your school? And it's like, we have sports. We have sports, and like, these really are lifelong friends. I mean, people in this group have been best men at weddings and will continue to be best men. And when we start having kids, probably be godfathers to children. So, I mean, yeah, the bond we had is so much deeper than volleyball, and it's, it's so sad that this place is closing, because it really is a kind of like a home to all of us, a place where everybody can come and reconnect. I mean, some of the guys I'm seeing here tonight I haven't seen for 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And
that
somebody
I played
came
in from New York tonight.
Yeah. I mean, guys from Chicago, guys from Kansas City are coming in and just for one night, just to hang out and see their old friends. So, I mean, gosh, it's moving.
Yes,
almost,
it is. Yeah. Right.
So lucky, very, very lucky to be a part of this program.
It just stinks that there's going to be a hole, that can't be filled anymore.
Right.
That you're not going to be able to have anymore. If you do and get together, it almost has to be, well, who's coaching and who can have it,
Right.
That type of thing.
Right. I think it's going to take a huge effort by all these guys and by myself to continue to maintain that bond that we have, but I have no doubt that we'll do it. I mean, this is so special to be here, and very grateful that we were able to do this one more time. So.
Are you coming back for the Hall of Fame ceremony?
If I can, yeah. I'd love to. I'd love to see Kyler and Zach and Ryan. I mean, those guys, talk about legends of the game here at Fontbonne. I mean,
and nationally, too.
Yeah. I mean, they're known at a national level for what they did for this program and for men's volleyball. I mean, one of the fastest growing sports in the nation right now, and it's because of guys like Kyler and Zach and Ryan and Braden and Nate and Braxton and Grant Garza, Kyle Snow. I mean, literally, I could name every guy in this gym, and they have helped grow this game to what it is right now. I mean, it's just so lucky. I'm so humble and so lucky that I was able to be a part of this.
Yeah, we also have other partners besides Fontbonne, of course, and Greenville's one of those, and they try to get their program back going again this year and struggled, And we saw Westminster a few times too, starting to get it back up, and some of the guys from Fontbonne went there, and we Pharmacy's one of our partners too, and they didn't have a year that they had hoped for, but they have the same mentality over there, because Frankenfield, of course, started here, and ended up at Pharmacy.
Yeah.
And he just brings that Fontbonne flavor over there.
Yeah. I mean, and that's that Fontbonne flavor. I mean, I can't describe it other than underdogs. I mean, everybody here mentally was trying to punch up, trying to get our ticket and show that we deserve some respect. And because of these guys you see standing out here and who are playing tonight, that I think we earned it. I think we earned a lot of respect.
And the all gas, no brakes thing, everybody bought into that.
Everybody bought in. And I think that's really what I'll miss is having this cohesion and this group of guys, young guys that all have the same idea, same mentality, same work ethic that we don't care who's in front of us. We're going to try to run through you. And I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss seeing that from, kids that I don't even know who they are, but they wear the Fontbonne crest and they made me so proud. So like these younger guys out here like Demetrius, Josh, Joe Huster, really set the precedence for what it meant to be a Griffin, and I'm extremely proud of the younger guys that followed after me too. I do want to give a special shout out to Ryan LeGrand. Fontbonne was the only school that recruited me. Ryan LeGrand was the one and only coach that came up and talked to me. He will always have a super special place in my heart, and I super grateful for Ryan LeGrand. So if he sees this, thank you so much for the opportunity to give me lifelong friends.
You've told him that, right?
Oh my God, yeah. We've sat around and luckily had the opportunity to hang out post volleyball, and I've told him so many times. I'm so grateful that he gave me.
I worked with him and Mike at Fox High School. I was the PA guy there. And when they got the job here, they go, Tim, you got to come to Fontbonne and do what you do here over there. And I was already calling softball. I've been doing softball since 2012 for Fontbonne. So I've already had a love for Fontbonne for sure. And I go, absolutely. So that whole first year, I was also the PA guy.
I mean, those guys deserve an immense amount of credit as well. I mean, talk about that Fontbonne feeling. That's Mike Haston. I mean, Mike Haston drilled that into us from the first day we got on campus. You were going to be an underdog. You're going to work hard. You're going to prove people wrong, and we did. And we did a lot, which is again, I'm just grateful.
I never thought about it, but the underdog label. I think a lot of people put that on you guys.
Yeah.
And it motivates you. It's like you're helping us.
I know. Our Hall of Fame and I think should have been an All-American setter, Kyler Van Rossum O'Connell, was the leader of the pack when it came to being an underdog. He, thank God, he was overlooked by so many other schools because he helped us immensely and continued to help the girls program too. I mean, talk about a guy that bleeds that Fontbonne blood. I mean, he dedicated a lot of time for this university.
Yeah, he almost played sprint football.
And you know what? He would have been a leader on that team too.
Yes.
He would have done everything he could to be a leader on that team. So, incredible guy. Super proud to call him my friend. Super proud to call a lot of these guys my friend.
Yeah, we got to sit with him for a set tonight too. And,
Good.
He's just, I've watched you guys play all this time. I wasn't the announcer, but I was an announcer at times, and but never really got to sit and talk to you like Coach K would. He would come and, he knew you guys, and then he would sit down and talk to you, find out your story and all that. So this has been a great night for me because, I've been able to kind of sit down at least with a handful of you guys and get to know you a little bit better.
There's a lot of characters in this gym for sure. A lot of unique personalities that, man, I'll miss being around all these guys and being able to cheer on my alum, my school. So, but all good things got to come to an end. I think this is the perfect way to do it with a celebration, a party, and a little bit of sometimes really good volleyball and sometimes some
it didn't matter.
Some just volleyball.
It didn't matter.
Right? Yeah. So
it's been a great night, and kudos to the school and to the president and to the athletic director to let this happen. She's down there and she's handing out drinks.
I mean, this athletic. I've never seen an athletic director so involved with her. And giving her coaches so much freedom to do what they need to do to have success.
Well, that starts above her even.
Absolutely,
with
our president, It's
right.
Incredible. Super lucky. It's coming to an end here shortly, but I'm just trying to soak it all in. So.
Right. She brought in Prepcasts for all sports, all home games this year.
Yeah.
We did softball forever, and we did some things here and there, sprint football for a little bit when they had it, but. She goes, this is the year, Tim. We're just going to have you come in for every home game that we have. It's appropriate. If they're going to give their time, the coaches and the players, we should give them their props.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And, man, what a group of guys. What a great up ref, too.
Yeah, that's Hastings' boy?
That is Hastings' boy.
That's great.
And he is starting his volleyball journey, too. He's playing for either the 10s or 11s team at High Performance. So,
wow.
Again, the game is always growing, and so many kids are picking up a volleyball, putting their shoes on, and playing, which is great for the sport.
Well, and again, it's still kind of a new sport. And especially D3,
Absolutely.
And it's not even in D1 and 2 a whole lot, is it?
No. I think there are more D3 teams than D1 and D2, but I do think they are adding that sport to their athletic departments, which is really good. I mean, I started playing my freshman year of high school. Some of these guys out here didn't start until their sophomore, junior years of high school, and now you're seeing guys like Dexter, who's 10, right? 10 or 11, and he's picking up a volleyball, right? Instead of a baseball bat or a basketball or a soccer ball, they're making the switch to volleyball, which is, I'm a little biased, but I think that's great.
Heck yeah. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Edwardsville High School. So
not too far away.
No. And that's another thing, too. A lot of local guys, a lot of guys that are from the area, which it helps us maintain that relationship, that brotherhood. So.
It was Ryan that found you said?
Ryan LeGrand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the coaching tree has been excellent, and not a whole lot of them, which tells you something, too.
Right, and I think it's important to remember that a lot of these guys that are coaching have, Ryan was the assistant here, and then he took over. Jimmy wasn't a player, and then an assistant, and he took over.
TJ the same.
TJ,
right.
so we're keeping it in the family, which was good. I you dedicate so much time to this. It's good to keep it local and keep it within the Fontbonne community.
Yeah, and they don't have to do that, but it makes sense because you understand the Fontbonne flavor, the Fontbonne family principle.
Right. And it really is. I mean, just watching some of these guys, it's so impressive that they still have it.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Brooks. Just a physical presence out there, and it's crazy. I mean, he probably hasn't played competitively for 3 years, and he's out here doing crazy stuff. So
yeah, I mean, you guys will feel it tomorrow, but
well, I don't want to think about that right now.
No,
I'm not. Tomorrow is tomorrow's gonna be rough.
Tomorrow's Saturday, so you don't have to go to work or anything.
No.
So did you graduate from here?
I did in 2019.
Okay.
Graduated in 2019. So.
And what are you doing now?
So I work at Stiefel right now at the home office
Sure.
downtown, and really enjoy that. Really enjoy being downtown in St. Louis. I think it's such an underrated city.
Oh, it is.
So yeah, it's great. It's great to
well, it's going to need young men and young people like you to say, hey, this is a good place to work.
Right.
And there's a lot going on.
Yeah. It's good to see Braxton Payne still out there. It's good to see that he hasn't felt anything tonight, and he's still playing. I think this is his fourth set he's playing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, when Zach went out, he goes, I don't know if I have the legs to go back out there.
I'm surprised some of the guys that are out there. But it just shows you how much this game means and that they want
this is the last set ever in this gym. So if you want to say I was on the floor.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some tears when the nets are getting put up and we're walking out the door for that final time. But I do believe that we're going to find a way to kind of keep this tradition going. We have a lot of guys that are involved in club volleyball in the area, so it's hard for me to believe that this will be the last time that we kind of all play together.
You have guys that are coaching, so
correct,
I mean, there's a chance that they could just host it.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Rothstein is at where is he? Rockford with their women's program.
That's what he said.
I coach for High Performance. Nate Pash, Grant Garza, they coach for High P as well. And I mean, I'm hoping that Wash U will still give some Fontbonne alum the opportunity to come back and enjoy their old campus.
Stuff.
But
who knows?
Who knows what'll happen? And it's good to see a lot of the other student athletes. I think there's a lot of women's volleyball players here that are not only supporting their friends, but supporting their old coach, Jimmy Sticka.
That's true. Yeah, he got Coach of the Year last night at the awards.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a guy that's dedicated so much to the school. Jimmy Sticka is the first that comes to mind. What again, super lucky to call him one of my best friends and be around him.
That sure didn't work.
Yeah. I think we're losing our touch a little bit. I think the food's getting to us a little bit.
Yeah.
And
a little bit of beverage too, maybe.
A little bit of beverage, but it's good. It's good to be here.
So any road trip memories that come to mind?
Oh, wow. My freshman year, we were in a bus driving to Pennsylvania. And on the way back, got stuck in a horrible blizzard that prolonged our trip by about 4 or 5 hours. That was my freshman year. And then I want to say 2019, we drove down to Nashville to compete in an off-the-block tournament. We played against some high-level NAIA and D3 teams. And again, on the way back, got stuck in a horrible snowstorm. 5-hour drive from Nashville turned into about a 10-hour drive through ice and snow. Gosh, I mean, the places that we were able to go as well, we were able to travel to. What an up by Ryan Rhodes, wow.
They came off the bench to give him a high five.
Love it.
A tap on the butt.
Love it. Love it. Love the energy in this place. We're still rocking.
That was a good point.
This place gave a lot of people opportunity to see cities and places that normally we wouldn't go, right? Philadelphia, Boston, California.
Yeah, you got to do the Rocky steps.
Right,
you know?
I mean, what great memories. And again, who knows if I would have been able to visit those places just as a normal student at another school.
That's a good point.
Yeah, a lot of great memories. Again, most of them I can't mention on air, but
yeah, we're on PG.
Man, what a time we had here.
Yeah, it's easy to say again because it's so obvious of how people really feel that there's a family atmosphere here.
Yeah.
To get this kind of a turnout.
Yeah.
And you might have had this in January, but not everybody could play in January because they were still playing for teams.
Right.
So it's almost a godsend that it happened this way,
Absolutely.
that you do it in April. It's closer to the end of the school, literally.
Yep.
And now you can say you're the last thing on this floor.
Yeah.
So I got softball tomorrow, Fontbonne softball. They have Eureka for 2.
How are they doing?
50-50, yeah, and I just hope that they can make the quarterfinals. That's all that I hope for. They have a shot for the Final Four.
Yeah. What an incredible program, Fontbonne softball.
Oh no, yeah, I was in it when it kind of started to get good.
Yeah.
Bill Rosner was the coach, and he brought me in 2012. Then he left me high and dry like 6 years later. He goes, I'm done.
Right.
So I've been through all the coaches since.
Yeah, that's a really good program in Fontbonne athletics was the softball team.
Yeah, if you look at the banner, I think they have the most numbers up there than anybody else.
I mean, and talk about great memories. Being able to support the other athletic programs here. I mean, one thing Mike always said to us was, if you want people at your games, if you want them there during the big moments, you got to be there for them.
Yep.
And I mean, the amount of soccer games, softball games, basketball games that we were able to attend and build relations with those teams. I mean, Tony Pitaro, a guy that was in my class, was a dual sport athlete. I mean, he played soccer, men's soccer, and volleyball. So we were able to connect with the soccer guys.
That's cool.
And the soccer girls.
Yes.
And have them at our games and vice versa.
Well, and volleyball definitely transfers over, on both sides.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, an opportunity that maybe if Tony went somewhere else, he might not have been able to have, right? But because he came to Fontbonne, he was able to have that, and lucky to be able to do that.
No, this night is going to mean more and more as these seconds go on. And like you said, leaving that door for the last time is going to be tough tonight.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And I think, you know, just under the circumstances of what happened in the winter, you know, a majority of us didn't know if we were gonna be able to even do this.
True.
You know,
True.
So to be here just makes it super special. What a block! What a great block!
No, a lot of it's the athletic director and the president, making sure it happens.
Absolutely.
It's just a classy way to go out. And, you know, and I've been involved in every sport that's finished because of Prepcast. You know, we got in soccer now, that's done, you know, and basketball now, that's done. And now, you know, volleyball, this will be it for tonight, you know, first and only, you know, game. And then we'll be saying baseball is Saturday, you know, and we just hope they can make it into the quarters. It's going to be iffy. The softball is 2 more Saturdays, and eventually it's all going to be over.
Yeah.
But you guys are rocking with the Hall of Fame, that's for sure. You still got that coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Softball's got 2 or 3 going in, too.
Yeah, I mean, again, what another opportunity to pay our respects to some really important people that came through and represented.
Well, I didn't realize that men's volleyball had no Hall of Famers until now.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people have stepped on this court to play volleyball, and I think the people that are getting recognized are some of the most important people to do that. I mean, there's so many people. I think that entire 2019 team really could get recognized.
Yeah, the
as
whole
a Hall
team
of Fame
could go in. That's true.
And same with 2021. I mean, the 2021 team, again, just an incredible group of people. Talk about perseverance by the guys. I mean, I remember sitting in Ryan's office and getting the text like, hey, Friday night game is canceled, but we're still going to try to play Saturday. And me looking at Ryan, you know, right at the beginning of COVID and saying, we got to do something for Zach and Kyler and the seniors. I mean, the amount of work they put in to help us. So for them to be able to play, for Kyler to be able to play 6 years and Zach be able to play 5 years and really earn that respect at a national level. As horrible as that 2020 season was, with it ending the way it did, 2021 was incredible. An incredible ride for those guys.
Is this timeout or are we done?
Yeah, what's going on down here?
Somebody's calling timeout.
Good. Again, maybe a little beverage, maybe a little food has slowed down the progress, but this is good.
Well, they just don't want it to end. I think that's the problem.
No, I don't think anybody does.
I'm going to let you go down now, my friend.
Yeah.
You have no reason to be up here.
I'm going to go down, hang out with the guys. Yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the broadcasts that you've been a part of. I mean, a tremendous help in growing the sport, getting this out here, getting the Griffin name out at a national level, so people can see what we were made of. So we are so grateful for you, and we appreciate it so much.
Thanks, James.
Thanks.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
James Sauerman with us for the last few minutes here. We're going to let him join the crew down there. They're saying it's 22-21. I'm not even sure that's true. And again, I think what it is, nobody wants to be the last one to hit. It's out. So now they're changing the score again to 23-19. So we thank Dan Kohler, Kyler Von Rossum O'Connell, Zach Rothstein, James Sauerman, TJ Vorva for all being a part of tonight's now 2-hour and 15-minute broadcast to say farewell to the men's volleyball program and to this gym. Set point, I think. I think that's the set. think we are done now. A good night for all. Not that it matters, but here is the breakdown of tonight for gold and purple. Not that it meant anything, but there was some good volleyball in there. And it's time to say farewell from Fontbonne. I'm Tim Miller saying so long. Thank you to the athletic department for bringing us out tonight. And thank you to all the people that came up to say what they felt about this program. TJ Vorva, Dan Kohler, Kyler Van Rossum O'Connell, Zach Rothstein, and James Sauerman. And of course, they're going to sing this song.